Of the magnificent Cairo International Velodrome, the host venue of the Tissot UCI Track Nations Cup, held right here in this historic city of Cairo. Well, a big welcome to the magnificent Cairo International Velodrome, the host venue of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup in this historic city of Cairo. An almost 500 strong field, largely national, continental, Commonwealth, world and Olympic champions from no fewer than 58 teams comprising of 50 nations, and 8 professional trade teams are doing battle over 3.5 days of action-packed cycling for the 14 gold medals on offer. The opening leg in Jakarta saw New Zealand, Great Britain as being the top nations. Tonight's finals exhilarating. The women's Omnium, 4 disciplines and all the points are added together. Men's sprint from the semi-finals onwards right through to the final race. The women's Keirin from the semi-final stage onto their finals, and the men's Madison final proves to be an absolute humdinger. On the track at the moment, getting themselves ready, is the opening event in the women's Omnium, which is effectively the modern pentathlon in cycling terms, comparing it to athletics. It's been a fantastic 3.5-day session here. We are going to see a lot more tonight. That man, Harry Lefrayson, the world champion in the sprint, going to entertain this crowd in the historic Cairo Stadium with his fantastic sprinting skills. Women lined up here for the first of 4 disciplines in their Omnium competition. Omnium is the pentathlon, although it's only over 4 races in cycling terms. The first of these events would be the scratch race. Scratch race is over 30 kilometers in women's terms, about 7.5 kilometers, because this is a 250-meter track. South Africa has its sole finalist at these Nations Cup events, Keirin, representing the country right at the southern extreme of the African continent. Big names riding here. The Jakarta winner of this discipline, Ali Wollaston. The Dutch girl in our picture, Meike van der Duyn, is the silver medalist at the World Championships in Australia last year. That is Kerry Walker of South Africa. All nerves, a nervous moment, as one could expect, but she is ready. Great Britain, Madeleine Leach in our picture. Wonderful contingent of athletes Britain have brought out here. Half the field starts on the top rail, the others down at the bottom of the track to keep the starting line as short as possible. Right, not much tempo. They'll come up to face the starter now. The Belgian rider Keirin de Klerk is the first to show the pace there. They'll come up and get the gun now. Then they've got 30 laps to go, 7.5 kilometers. No points involved here. No laps to count whatsoever. It's purely a scratch race from start to finish, as one would imagine in an uncomplicated cycling event over 7.5 kilometers. The women's Omnium. 4 disciplines. They'll do a scratch race. They'll go to an elimination, which is a very exciting devil take the hindmost format. There will also be the big finale is the points at the end, because the 3 disciplines get their points aggregated all through the disciplines, and in the end the points race is the competitors adding to those points directly with the actual points they amass in the points race discipline. Right, the idea here is to win the race across the line rather than amass points, as one would see in the points race, in the eliminations. In the interesting addition to this as well being the so-called tempo race, which the tempo, after the first 4 laps, they cross the line every time with the winner being awarded 1 point. So it keeps the tempo very high because this is only a 250-meter track. So effectively, you can't really re-gear yourself and regroup yourself for a sprint every time. It's run at a blistering speed, hence the wonderfully apt name, the tempo race. Right, at the moment, not too much tempo to brag about here as we see the Swiss competitor leading them. Canada been very prominent as well in this Cup Series, down to only 28 laps. Aileen Seitz of Switzerland, who we saw in our picture, leading them out. Not too much tempo here, it's a rather gentle pace at the moment. Canada been very, very good. Bibic in the men's race, in the men's series, has been prolific as well. Certainly a very, very good Omnium exponent there. So let's see what the women can do from the Canadian team tonight. Interestingly so, in this Omnium event, we have the winner from the Jakarta leg, Ali Wollaston of Auckland, New Zealand. You'll see in the black skin suit. She's here. Then, very, very notably, we've got the gold medalist from the World Championships, Jennifer Valente of the United States. In this event, also the silver medalist from the same World Championships in France, that is Maike van der Duyn. And the bronze medalist from the same championships. Not often you see that. All three the medalists from the World Championships. Bronze medalist on this occasion, the Portuguese rider, and that is Maria Martins. You'll see her in those familiar Portuguese colours. Right, Belgium leading at the moment. Mexico have a rider in there, Victoria Valesco. Katrien de Klerk of Belgium, she's been handily placed all through. Speaking again of the Canadians here, they've been very, very good at this series of events. These events, by the way, held for the riders to amass points for qualifying at the World and Olympic Games level. So many riders, so few events at the Olympics and World Championships, so many nations. There are in fact 50 nations here tonight, and they all vie for very, very prized slots in the World Championships and Olympic Games. In chatting to the nations, interestingly so, it appears that countries pin huge value on Olympic medals rather than the World Championship ones. Understandably so, the Olympics, the world's biggest sporting event, happening every 4 years, and we also have the Olympic Games champion, Olympic champion in this discipline here, in Jennifer Valente of the United States. Valente, unstoppable in the women's elimination last evening, rode brilliantly, and she really is going to have a huge say here. She is the world and Olympic champion in this discipline. You'll see her about 6-7 bikes down. Just look behind the South African. There she comes into picture now. Jonker, the South African, fifth. Behind her, Valente, the reigning world champion. Hence the white jersey with the arc-en-ciel or the rainbow colors. That is one of the big prizes in cycling. The road spectators and fans all know about the yellow jersey, the maillot jaune, the maglia rosa et al. But the big prize in the world of World Championships is that white jersey with the symbolic rainbow colors around the chest and sleeves collar as well. Right, so this race, as we said, runs over 30 laps. The laps now just about halfway, believe it or not. They've done almost 4 kilometers. Great Britain in there as well. China been very prolific. They've got a huge contingent as Jonker just leads the rather lethargic bunch through there. The racing will start in earnest. The French have been very, very good as well. And this time the medalist Victoire Berthaud in the other women's disciplines, the team pursuit and also the elimination. Very good exponent of that, riding here representing France. France got the medal in Jakarta. They got the women's Omnium, got second with Clara Copponi, but now Berthaud taking the French jersey for the second leg of 3. The third leg takes the riders to Canada for the finale, the first time in many, many years, in fact. Not one of the 3 legs of the UCI Nations Cup has been held in Europe. The UCI sensibly putting one in the west, one centrally on the planet, and one on the eastern side. So a very strategic move there from the World Cycling Body. As we see Riders coming by now. Not too much in the line of tempo. Eileen Seitz of Switzerland just goes up the track. Van der Deen of Holland in the orange skin suit. You'll note the Dutch these days not too brightly orange. They've lost a little bit of their orange, slightly paled out orange. It's a spotted jersey which looks slightly paler when one looks at it. But Oranje, they will always stay. Great cycling fans, hugely dominant the Dutch are in the world of road racing in the women's category. And on the track here, the men seem to be the top sprint nation at the moment. Looking at Italy, interestingly so, they brought Elia Viviani out for the men's Madison and also the Omnium event, and the elimination in the Omnium, which he was absolutely brilliant in the other night. Ireland have Mia Griffin in there. They got fourth in the women's team pursuit, and to their absolute delight, beating Great Britain in their ride-off. Berthaud, France, just hovering up the track there. Norway have a rider in this event as well. Denmark, Amalie Didriksen, absolutely deadly. In the Madison, they are the world champions. That's her lying about fourth as they go down the back straight. Tactics here. Remember, the riders score 40 points for the first rider crossing the line, 38 for second, 36 for third, etc. all the way down. These points run through this, plus the tempo event, plus the elimination event, and whatever the amassed points are at the end of leg 3 out of the 4, they then get simply added to with the actual points scored in the points race. A nice format, about 50 points up for grab in the points race if one rider could win all the laps. But they get into that stage roughly with 100 points. So there you see the world champion in that magnificent rainbow jersey. Jennifer Valente, the United States, just holding the lead at the moment. Wollaston in black, top left there, won this Omnium in Jakarta, and she's going to really have an interesting fight tonight with the American world and Olympic champion Jennifer Valente. Right, a little bit of action now. The Swiss girl, Eileen Seitz, has been prominent all throughout. Amber Joseph grabbing the lead. Right, they're down to 4 laps. They're starting to really build this up now. Where is Valente? Berthaud comes over the top in the French jersey. Wollaston in the black representing New Zealand. These are the favourites. Then you've got Van der Deen of the Netherlands in there as well. The Spaniard starts coming over the top. Teutenberg of Germany's got to be there. Labrerte of Spain. Here comes the world champion Valente as she challenges. The lap's coming down to 2. That's 500 meters to go. Valente hits the front. Is she going to lead this one out and hold them off? Great ride there from Valente as she powers away down. Didriksen on her wheel from Denmark. Then you've got Van der Deen from Holland. The Dutch, the orange skin suit. The bell goes. 240 meters to go now. About 200 meters to go as the world champion powers them down the back straight. That is the brilliant effort here from our ruling world champion. Wonderful ride as we see Valente lead them out, and they get to the line there. It's going to be a very, very tightly contested one. Has she done enough to hold on? Great ride there. Didriksen in with a shout as well. And of course the Belgian has a go to. Ali Wollaston. A brilliant ride from her. The winner of this discipline in Jakarta. And the points 38, 40, 38, 36 and down. Watch this as they get to the line. It is Wollaston who beats Valente. And Van der Deen of the Dutch there in third wheel. Very, very good ride. In fact, much has been spoken and lots of debate about whether Wollaston can get the beating of Valente in this evening's Omnium event. And she certainly has a nose in front. 40 points to her, 38 to the world champion. Right, there we go. So Wollaston gets those 40 points. Jennifer Valente, the world and Olympic champion, in second in 38. Amalie Didriksen, the world Madison champion, in third. Maika van der Deen, Joseph Berthaud, the Spaniard Arteaga, Sevichkova and Martins from Portugal, bronze medalist at world level, make up the 9th, and Stenberg of Norway, the 10th position. Those on the second page, between 20 and 1 point they got. Keirin scoring herself 1 point there for 19 in that position. So she's got a magnificent point at least. Well done. And of course, this the first of 4 of the disciplines, with the scratch race just being decided there. And we can tell you that's going to be a huge, huge fight tonight in this women's Omnium. Average speed there, 44.925 meters was the average. Harry Lefrayson, the man in our picture here, in the men's sprint semi-final against Kaya Ota of Japan. The Japanese have been very, very good in the sprints, and the Keirin particularly, they dominated wonderfully. So let's just have a look here. In Jakarta, Lefrayson was the gold medalist, Ota getting second. So this semi-final run here is regrettable for these 2 riders. One has to leave, and this of course decided on a best out of 3 basis. So let's just have a quick look here. The men's sprint, the reigning world champion, that rainbow jersey tells us the story there. That is Harry Lefrayson, rides magnificently big gears. For example, in the qualifier, he'll ride a 67 chainring and a 13 sprocket, which is plus 140 inches in old gearing terms. That is really incredible. So he's a highly powerful rider, is Lefrayson. And now having a good look here at the sprint, Lefrayson, a power man. Ota, very new to the world of cycling. He's only just popped onto the scene fairly recently. Let's look at this, Lefrayson over the top. Watching Ota, keeping him in his sights there. This cat and mouse business often eludes people as understanding, but this time, oh! And that was very, very close as Ota gets the first bite of the sprinter's lane. Lefrayson's going to kick over the top, and they almost touch again. Shoulder to a hip there. Lefrayson's going to come, but Ota's going to get, whoa! We're not speculating on that. That is Kaya Ota, who goes 1 up on the world champion. Absolutely incredible. That is just too much here for our turnout of spectators. They came to see the world champion, and really well done. Kaya Ota, that is brilliant. A wonderful, wonderful ride. The men's sprint semi-final, that is just a stupendous result from this young rider, Ota, who goes 1-0 up against Lefrayson. That means Lefrayson has to win twice to eliminate Ota, or to go into the sprint final. Very, very close. That's about 20 centimeters. Maybe not as close as it looked from our angle, but that is daylight. It's 20 centimeters in this event. Well, there we go. Harry Lefrayson goes 1 up, or he goes 1 down, in fact, to Kaya Ota of Japan. The next runoff is Michal Yakolev. Yakolev versus Poland's Matthias Rudek. And we see Rudek is on the line. He's ready for them. Rudek, a very powerful rider. If you just look at his physique when he comes around, if we can get a little bit closer to him, he's a stocky rider. Very, very strong. And almost does his acceleration from the saddle. So we're going to see big action here this evening. In the sprint, the all-time favourite, Lefrayson, goes down 1-0 to Ota in that semi-final. This to decide the ride for the gold and silver medal. And of course the losers go through to that big race for the bronze and no medals. Here we go, Rudek, Matthias Rudek from Poland. Red shorts, white top. Behind him, Michal Yakolev, a Russian who rides in the colours of Israel these days. very interesting character is Yakovlev. He's a giant of a man, certainly in cycling terms, a very tall rider, powerful rider, and lots of tactics which he brings to the party. So they almost come to a standstill. You remember the old days, particularly of the bigger tracks, when the riders used to come to a standstill, referred to as balancing those days. Rudek here, red shorts. Yakovlev has a little bit of advantage. The higher you're up the banking, of course, the bigger the rundown, the faster the acceleration. Now both of them find themselves on the offside of the track. That blue zone effectively is not part of the track. It's a safety area for when they are going around the banking at low speed. They can go on the blue zone. You need to do at least 30 kilometers an hour here to stay upright on the 42-degree banking. The straights banked at 12 degrees. The track 250 meters long and 7 meters wide. There we go. Yakovlev has a go. It's almost as if Rudek didn't see him coming. Yakovlev, a brilliant one. He's going to get the bell here. This is going to mean work for Rudek. He's got a challenge now. You can't get around the bends very easily here because it's a long way around. Yakovlev, is Rudek even going to come at him? Was he going to sit up? I'd sit up if I was Rudek. Wait for the next round, which is exactly what he's doing. Yakovlev brilliantly puts one into Rudek there. A fantastic ride in this first of 3 of the semi-final in the men's sprint. Well, that's a wonderful ride there from Yakovlev, riding in the colors of Israel, as we saw. And the next race we're getting ready for now would be the women's Keirin semi-finals, if we're going to stick to the program. Yes, in fact, they are. Right, well, so this is the women's Keirin semi-finals. Right, the ride in our picture from the Netherlands, Hetty van der Wouw. Right, then we go down to Rio Ota of Japan. Italy, Miriam Vece, who is the European 500-meter time trial champion. Right, so we have a look at this. 6 laps essentially, 3 paced by the motorcycle, which then leaves the track, and the riders are left to sprint things out. Event which emanates from Japan. For many, many years it was one of the primary sources of betting in Japan. Riders were treated like gods. They were housed below ground level in dugouts so that the public couldn't interfere with them or get tips from them, I suppose, if it's horse racing terms. So that's how this event has evolved. These days an Olympic event as well as a World Championship one. That's Miriam Vece on the first position, behind Ria Ota of Japan. Hetty van der Wouw in the Dutch colours in the third wheel, behind Alla Beletska of the Ukraine. And then it's Kwame, who is the world 500-meter champion in the blue colors of France, and then Alessa Propster of Germany right at the back. Right, so they get paced by the motorcycle starting at 30 kilometers an hour. It takes them up to 50. Then the motorcycle pulls off and the race is on. Vece on the bike. So there they go down the finish now. 3 laps to go. The motorcycle leaves and Veche has the lead. Then you've got Ota. They start challenging. The Dutch girl, Hetty van der Wouw. Right, then the French woman there, Kouamé. She's excellent at time trials. Maybe not the most tactical in bunched rides or sprints like this, but now she's got a great wheeler. Kouamé looking over his shoulder. Van der Wouw comes up over her. They're going to get the bell now. The German has the lead. Propster. They get to the bell. Let's see how this unfolds. Veche slipped out of the picture a little bit right at the back in the blue of Italy. Van der Wouw now. Propster. Kouamé as they go down. Ota in 4th position. Van der Wouw is going to tie this one up there to get into the final magnificently. And she does it. Van der Wouw, the rider from the Ukraine, challenges desperately as well. Ali Beletska, but she might have got in, might not have done it. But Van der Wouw gets in, Propster second, Kouamé, and indeed, Beletska gets in there from the Ukraine. A brave effort from her, 4th right at the end to qualify to go through to the next round. Very exciting racing at the right level this. Of course, Harry Lefrayson, rider that is locked in the sprint at the moment, is the top exponent in the world at this time. And now let's take a look at Heat 2. Right, so Van der Wouw winning that in great style. Second heat will be the Belgian Nikki de Grendler, Julie Michaud, Mina Sato from Japan, Fuka Umkenkaya from Japan, Steffi van der Peert of the Netherlands, and Eles Andrews, the very, very well-known New Zealand sprint and Keirin rider. Right, instructions. Important at this point, that is Sato getting the instructions from a coach. Interestingly so, the Japanese use coaches from all around the planet to assist their riders. Sato, the winner in Jakarta. Matilda Groh, not riding the Keirin, was in second of Germany. Umekawa of Japan got third on this occasion. Andrews fourth. Christina Klonen of Australia, not riding here tonight, was in fourth. And Van der Wouw, we saw winning the earlier heat, was in 5th place eventually, in 6th place, correction. Right, so there we go. Almost ready now. Nakawa, all ready. Concentration. Andrews, Kiwi. And there we go. Mina Sato, the winner in Jakarta. She has drawn one, so she's going to stay behind the motorcycle for the opening lap. And her position is she has to stay on the bumper. You see she takes no part strategically until a couple of laps have run, and then she'll start glancing over the shoulder. She'll focus solely on the motorcycle. The addition of the motorcycle, twofold, to keep the race together. She's not allowed to pass the motorcycle. And of course to speed them up when it does count. After 3 laps of the 6th, the motorcycle pulls off, leaving the riders to contest the sprint and the event on their own. Right, they go around, still Sato on the wheel, Andrews behind her. Then Umekawa, the other Japanese in this one. Van der Peert from the Netherlands in there as well. And Nikki de Grendler of Belgium right at the back. It's going to be a humdinger this one, the semi-final. Fight for places in the final. They have 2 finals in this interesting form of the sport emanating from Japan. They have a 6th to 12th final, and then they have a 1st to 6th final. Building up speed now. Andrews has the lead. Oh, there comes the move from the French rider. The Dutch actually, let's have a look now. Over the top they go. Going to be an interesting one. Come up to the bell. Andrews still has the lead. Japanese riders all around her there. Oh, both Japanese now challenging. The Belgian coming up, De Grendler over the top as well. De Grendler, Satu De Grendler. This for place in the final. Andrews on the inside. She might miss out on a final booth there after that fantastic ride, as Steffi van der Peert also kicks herself right into the picture. Where it matters most. So Satu getting that. De Grendler settling for second. Very, very impressive Keirin leg there from these riders. That was really well done. And Satu showing just why she won the Jakarta opening leg of this event. Right, so Mina Sata beating De Grendler, Uma Kaiwe into third, Steffi van der Peert with the Netherlands in fourth, Andrews slips into fifth, and Julie Michaud of France in the sixth position. Right, so let's have a look now. We go back to the men's sprint. Right, so that'll be ride 2 in the men's sprint. Remember, the rider on the outside, which is Ota, just pipped. Kaya Ota just pipping the world champion and Olympic champion Harry Lefrayson. In the leg, the opening leg here is now, if Ota gets this, it's straight sets. He goes into the final. Lefrayson rides off for third and fourth. But there's going to be a little bit of water into the Nile before that happens. Let's have a look and see how this very impressive Dutchman can turn the tables on his Japanese opponent here. It was his birthday on the opening day, 2 days back. That is Lefrayson. Hoogland, his teammate, also celebrating a birthday just yesterday. So the Dutch, all their team in the team sprint, 2 of the 3 riders having birthdays at these Tissot UCI Nations Cup events. Right, this time the world champion takes the lead, dominates, glances over that left shoulder. Ota newish to this business, but certainly got a tremendous turn of speed. To get the beating of a man like Lefrayson, you really have to be worth your salt. No tempo at this stage. The last one they took a little bit quicker. Lefrayson keeping it slow. He's a huge gear exponent, so he'd want to have some kind of speed going into the bell, and maybe a lap and a half out. Ota now gives himself height on the banking if he dives down. He gains that altitude. Remember, if you dive down, you get a huge start. So there we go. Ota 1-0 up against the reigning world champion and Olympic champion Harry Lefrayson. When they get around, they get the bell. Ota commits first. He's going to dive down over Lefrayson. Oh, he keeps the sprinter's lane. This time it's a long way around for Ota, because that red lane is the protector. The outside rider can't come inside that if the inside man has got the lane, and Lefrayson's done it very strategically. Now it's a long way around for the Japanese. Lefrayson, no doubt of that one. Very comfortable win there to level the scores. It's going to go to 3, but Lefrayson with that performance certainly was a bit shaken after losing the first one. But this time shows exactly why he's the world and Olympic champion. Nice round of applause there for the Dutchman. The wind coming up a little bit here. This velodrome, interestingly so, is a roofed but an open walled velodrome. The reason for that essentially was to keep these magnificent historic buildings in sight from the velodrome. Right, so let's have a look to see what happens in leg 2 of the sprint here. The man in red, 1 leg down, and that is Matthias Rudek of Poland. Very strong, very compact rider, and he's got huge explosive power. The taller, bigger man in the colors of Israel is Mikhail Yakovlev, from Russia has now taken citizenship and represents Israel at these Tissot UCI Nations Cup events. First leg was won by the Israeli, the man on the inside in the blue. This over 3 laps, so essentially 750 meters, the sprint distance.
Now the grand semi-finals, heat 2, and the race number 2 between Keirin from Israel, Matthias Rudek from Poland.
Right, here they go. Yakovlev leads out. Rudek on his wheel from Poland, the man in the red shorts. Not too much in the line of tempo here. Really strategic. It's a tactical, strategic race this as Rudek dives down. Rudek goes down. They've got 2 laps to go now. Next time around to the bell, 500 meters from there to the finish. Yakovlev on his wheel. A nice high tempo, Rudek eliminating the possibility of a jump on him. And Rudek now keeps the tempo very high as they get the bell. He's winding it up this time. He's got explosive power, he accelerates even more. Yakovlev on his wheel. Looks rather comfortable as they go down the back straight. Yakovlev challenges. He knows he's got to go in the back straight, a long way around in the banking. Can Rudek kick extra? He's got some in the tank there as they come to the wire. Another absolutely nail-biting decision. That needs a photo finish. There's no ways that you can judge that one with a naked eye, plus 65 kilometers an hour here as the riders cross the line. Yakovlev 1 leg up on Rudek. This time it could just be avenged by the man from Poland. Of course, if Yakovlev wins, then it's a straight sets victory for him. He goes through to the final to face either Ota or Lefrayson later on in the program tonight. If the man in red gets it, they go to a best of 3, as we've seen in the first heat with Ota and Lefrayson. Well, the judges taking their time on this one. It's going to take a photo and a magnifying glass to get to that. Right, here we go. So the second discipline in the women's Omnium, getting themselves ready here. Kerry Jonker again from South Africa, with John Spies helping on this occasion. Spies, one of our very best track exponents, South African, specializes in the Keirin and the sprint, comes from Johannesburg, South Africa, and a multiple South African national champion. Right, so let's have a look at the points in the women's Omnium. Right, so Ali Wollaston is in the lead at the moment on the overall standings of this Omnium. Remember, it goes over 4 legs, the first of them being a scratch race. They then go to a tempo, which is a points event. And after 4 laps, the rider crossing the line first every time gets 1 point. There's the scoreboard. Wollaston on top. The length of the world and Olympic champion second. Didriksen of Denmark in third. Van der Deen, the Dutch girl, in fourth. Joseph Berthaud, the Spaniard, in 5th position. This is the list of riders on the second page. The Irish Mia Griffin's going to certainly be heard of this evening as the meeting goes on as well. So all set now for the tempo race, which as we said runs over 30 laps or 7.5 kilometers. After 4 laps, the laps thereafter, there is a 1 point up for grabs for the rider crossing the line first on every lap occasion. But the riders all pensive before the start, last minute adjustments, just making sure those skin suits fit. Right at the front, Ali Wollaston from New Zealand. Behind her, Didriksen of Denmark. Looking on the inside, it's Berthaud of France. The Spaniard here is Lararte. Bit of encouragement for Wollaston. She was brilliant in Jakarta, winning this Omnium. Let's go down now to the world champion. That's the Mexican rider, which is Valesco Fuentes. Let's just have a little look. There we go, the rainbow colors or the Archon Sea, that symbol of the World Championship. Brilliant to see Jennifer Valente of the United States in that coveted jersey there. Right, there she is. Second position in the series. She's both the Olympic and world champion in this discipline. Was brilliant in the women's elimination race earlier in this week. In fact, it was last night. So there she is, pensive but confident. She's going to have her work cut out tonight at the hands of Ali Wollaston, the Kiwi. Great Britain have a good rider in this series as well. And Victoire Berthaud of France, third bike down behind Van der Deen of the Netherlands. That's Van der Deen of the Netherlands. Right, have a look at the Klerk of Belgium. This over a distance of 7.5 kilometers. After 4 laps, 1 point every time to the lead rider on every lap. Just looking at it strategically, you can't recover from a sprint here and sprint every time, so the race is run as it's aptly entitled as a tempo race. They keep a very high speed and just fight for the line rather than coming to a standstill and sprinting as one would imagine. With a short distance track at 250 meter, there's just no time for any recovery. The Belgian, Keirin de Klerk, you can just see her left sleeve there behind the Mexican rider. Right, Maho Kakita, Japan in there as well. Victoire Berthaud of France. Valesco of Mexico. After 4 laps, the points start being awarded to the first rider crossing the line. This very old event, format-wise, many years, was held in the 50s, 60s, etc. Then it cooled off a little bit in popularity, and great to see it back now at UCI world level. Didriksen of Denmark. The gun goes a little bit retardedly. It almost caught the start official unawares for a moment, but he did fire it, and the race is on. So there we go, Aileen Seitz of Switzerland, right at the back. The South African Jonker. Wollaston just pulls them through.
And finally, Seaway from cycling team.
Yeah, the riders, no tempo, excuse the pun here. Ireland have a rider in the field as well, and that there is in the bright green colours of Ireland, Leah Griffin, one of the team members of the Team Pursuit. He ended up just unfortunately fourth in the opening evening of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup. Right, Wollaston. She's defending the title that she won in Jakarta. She was wonderfully good there. Almost whitewashed them on that occasion. So let's have a look when the points start coming up now.
The winner of the race is the rider with the most points. Should the rider left the one, that rider gets 20 points just for that.
Right, there we go. So the first lap now for points happening. The local rider from Egypt has the lead, but not for that long, as she's overhauled immediately by a tearaway rider. Points going to go her way, there's no question of that. That is a rider 260 who draws the first lap there. And the Egyptian Zayed Ahmed Ebdusam collects the dough on that occasion. So she's got 1 point. It's 1 point only up for grabs every single lap now. Right, so let's have a look now as the points keep coming. Right, the Egyptian 2 points to her credit. Well done. Right, that is Ahmed Zayed Ebtisam is her first name. Riding confidently. Certainly she's got road as a background. She just looks like one of those endurance riders. Very good effort here. She's got 3 points to the good. Ireland has to challenge at this moment. Mia Griffin. Griffin goes after it. Is she? Oh no, that's another point. Well done. Zayed gains another one. She's now on 4. And so the points will carry on. Don't forget these points these points dictate which riders win the actual disciplines, but at the end of the third discipline, which is the elimination, all the points are added together, they're aggregated, then that aggregate becomes the starting points tally in the final race, the points race, in which 5, 3, 2 and 1 points are awarded every 10 laps, and in the end double points for the winner. So they can add, they end up maybe on 100 points after the 3 disciplines, and the points race provides live points onto that tally. Right, so Lee from Britain has herself a point as well. 2 points now. Looking really good. They seem to take attacks at the front rather than trying to win a lap at a time. And very good ride there. So Amber Josephs of Barbados collects herself a point. Right. Spain gets a point. Lararte as she collects her point. 1 on the board. Still Zayed of Egypt leading. And what happens here? Nice high tempo. The Dane at the front there. Didriksen of Denmark. Oh, there's a bit of a move now. Berthaud takes them away. Valente with her as well. Wollaston with her as well. Van der Deen of the Netherlands in that group. Oh, and who gets the point there? Is Berthaud of France. Reward for that attack. Wollaston. Next rider to get the wind and to get a point. As we're saying, this velodrome, open-walled. Keep the vista of the historic city of Cairo as Van der Deen clinches the point there. Very high roof in accordance with all of that. Gets a little bit windy on the opening night with the team pursuits and sprints. They decided to start both teams on the same side of the track, not on alternate sides, because they felt there would be a disadvantage if the team starting with the wind, because their first little bit of the lap would be with the wind and the longer lap on the other side into it in the team sprint, which is only over 3 laps. Didriks has the lead. Berthaud kicks over the top. Right, this is Berthaud now. Didriks on 2 points. Right, looking at the scoreboard. Didriksen, Berthaud, Leach, Joseph. Just picking it up here as the riders come past the straight again. Wollaston, that black skin suited New Zealand. She's drawn blood here, there's no question. She's got the other riders on the back foot. Here we go, and if she laps the predominance of the peloton or the bunch, she will get a 20-point bonus. So you dare not get lapped here because they deduct 20 points off your tally. Right, Wollaston. She's made contact. Now becoming really technical. Wollaston at the sharp end of the race. There she is. Deliberately not lapping them, because while she is not in contact with them, she is pronounced the winner of each lap. Now she has done so. Got to keep her main adversaries off, including the world champion, Valente. Right, it's really becoming interesting now. It's Van der Deen. See the Irish in picture as well. She's a lap up on them, so she gets 24 points now, as you can see, 4 from the laps, and a 20 bonus for lapping what the commissaires have ruled as the predominance of the peloton. Right, Berthaud gets a point, but she has to get a lap, because at this rate there's just no contest. Jonke in the picture in the green of South Africa. From Barbados, Joseph in that yellow skin suit. Down the back straight they go. Those are the leaders. The Mexican girl in there too. Great Britain's Madeleine Leach, blue shorts, white jersey. Behind her, Ali Wollaston. Then it's Jonke. She's a lap down. Right, Canada in there as well. That is Maggie Coles-Lister in the Canadian colours, riding about second wheel at the moment. Right, so here we go. The rider coming around from behind is the actual leader. Diedrichsen is the leader of the race now. She's making contact at the back of the peloton with him. She's gained a lap. So watch what happens. Bang, there goes her score as well. Right, so the last lap. This is going to go to the wire. Wollaston on 24 points. Berthaud on 23. The big churn is on at the back there. Wollaston in second wheel, but it looks like it's going to be the British rider. Let's have a look now, and they come to the wire. A wonderful last lap crossing of the line here for the Brit. That is Leach, Madeleine Leach, but the points tell it all. Wollaston is the winner there. Berthaud settling for second. Valente, the world and Olympic champion, third. And the Dutch girl, Van der Deen, Maaike Van der Deen, will be in fourth wheel here. Remember, these points are now no longer valid. What happens? They award 40 points in the overall aggregate standings to Wollaston, 38 to Berthaud. Valente will get 36 points, etc., onto the aggregated points. So these points are now not a factor. It's the aggregate points which get added to, and that leaves Wollaston right at the top of the table. Right, so been very prominent, Ali Wollaston. Crowd appreciates that effort. She was great in Jakarta, winning the Omnium ahead of fantastic. There she is. That's Ali Wollaston in that black skin suit of New Zealand. Great ride from her. She lapped them. She started the action here, drew the first blood with that magnificent lap she gained on the others, and then had 4 other points as well. So that puts on 24 points, the winner of tonight's leg 2 of the Omnium, which is this tempo race. The tempo race, a very nice inclusion here. Really entertaining. It keeps the speed really high, and that was a good one. 7, 8 riders, 10 in fact, lapping, 9 to be precise, lapping the field. That's Ali Wollaston from New Zealand. Coaching staff always in attendance there, but a wonderful ride from her. Leach from Britain being the first rider to cross the line. The Mexican ending up in second over the line, and that is Valesco. But in the end, no question of doubt, Ali Wollaston of New Zealand on 80 points now. That's aggregated in the series. Amelie Diedrichsen on 74. The world and Olympic champion third on 72. Second page sees the Mexican Fuentes, who was very, very prominent in that course de poids, which is essentially the tempo race, and very, very well done by Wollaston. She takes the lead. She has the lead if you look at it series-wise from Jakarta, winning the first leg in great style there. And at this moment, she ends up atop the board, 2 events down, 2 to come, the elimination and the big points. Now, let's focus on this, because it's going to be a tremendous tussle here, the decider, between, at the top of the track, the world and Olympic champion, which is Harry de Vreesen of the Netherlands. And they are both tied now after Kaya Ota of Japan won the first leg. De Vreesen leveling the scores in the second one. The winner here goes to the final. Loser rides off for the bronze medal. Ota at the front from Japan. De Vreesen, rider that rides enormous gears, reputed to use as big as a 67-13 in the qualifier for the sprint, which is a humongous 140-inch gear in the old English terms. 140 inches, to give perspective, would be a higher gear than a road bike of the 80s and possibly even of the 90s. That's the top gear of a road bike. And those gears those days were reserved for the big descents. Here we go, let's watch, let's focus. Ota, cat and mouse, De Vreesen. Lots of talent, lots of skill. Multiple world champion, Olympic Games champion from the Netherlands. They get to the bell. Ota still has his hand on the handle, but this is the turnout of Vreesen to kick over the top. If he, he's going to challenge him in the back straight, he's got to come, otherwise it's a long way round in the banking. Harry de Vreesen, the world champion, comes around the outside. I think he's got this one sewn up comfortably. Well done, Harry de Vreesen. That is the way a world champion and Olympic champion does it. 2 sets to 1 as he puts Kaya Ota down into the run off there for third and fourth. Brilliant ride. Ota says, well done. Certainly had no answers to that one. Lefrayson almost belligerent now. He got a fright of his life by being beaten in the first ride by Ota. Settles the score in round 2 and gets the beating of Ota quite comfortably in round 3 here, the third ride of 3. So that was really exciting. So Lefrayson goes through. Yakolev will meet Lefrayson in the final later on in the program. Rudik will ride against Kaya Ota for the bronze medal later on in the program. So now the men's Madison. That's going to be very interesting. We have a huge turnout of the very best riders in the world here in the Madison. For example, looking at the Italians, you've got none other than Elia Viviani, that fabled Italian road sprinter, riding for Italy here, of course. Germany have Roger Kluger, great all-rounder, riding with Theo Reinhardt. Viviani riding with Scartezzini, the rider that represented them in the points race. Viviani, brilliant in the elimination the other evening, and he is the world champion at that. So this event over 50 kilometers, 200 laps. There are 20 sprints, so every 10 laps there's a sprint for 5, 3, 2 and 1 points. The last lap, it's double, and there are 20 points to gain or lose if you gain or lose a lap. Teams of 2 pair up. It's essentially the relay, equating it to athletic terms. The riders are in pairs by nation. One rider in the race at all times, one rider out of the race at all times. They alternate about a lap and a half every round about 500-600 meters. At the longest they'll change, but a lap and a half, which is roughly 400 meters, they'll come in and out alternating. The pace very high because you always have freshish legs. Fresh may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but freshish legs to make the pace here. The speed well in excess of 50, rather near the 60 kilometer mark. Gearing interesting here. You can't ride the biggest gear because you've got to slow down, come in, get out, be relayed, etc. So you've got to ride a mid-range gear in this event. It's just not smooth and fast enough to ride a massive gear like the sprinters do or the Keirin riders do, which they can maintain because the Keirin, for example, is all done at huge speed. Right, looking at Jakarta, the results of this event, we'll just try and tell you who the winner was there. Men's Madison was won by the German duo there, Roger Kluger, Theo Reinhardt. The Netherlands getting second. And on that occasion, New Zealand getting third wheel. Takes a little bit of time getting this going. So you have 20 teams on the start here. 50 kilometers, 200 laps. Italy, Elia Viviani and Michele Scartezzini. France, Thomas Boudin, who was brilliant in the Omnium last night, winning that in great style. Clement Petit riding with him. Claudio Imhoff of Switzerland. Lucas Rueg as well in there. Great Britain, William Tidball, the winner of the men's elimination a couple of evenings ago. And Joshua Giddings riding with him on this occasion. Portugal, Austria, Bridgestone Cycling, one of the trade teams from Japan. Aya Hashimoto and Naoki Kojima riding for them. That is Scartezzini we saw in the picture a moment ago. The Brits in picture now. Tidball and Giddings. Denmark in there as well. Real top team, the Danes. Now looking at the results from the Olympic Games. The Danes, Lasse Norman Hansen and Mikael Markov, were the champions there, neither of them here. And none of the medalists from Tokyo riding in this Tissot UCI Nations Cup Madison this evening. Right, Tidball, brilliant in the elimination earlier in this tournament. Now the Omnium event. Let's have a look in the Omnium. It was Tidball who was brilliant in the elimination there. Buddha, great in the Omnium. Kluger, excellent in the Omnium. Of yesterday, Viviani, brilliant in the Omnium, winning the third leg, which was their elimination race. Right, getting themselves readied and lined up here now. Right, the world champions are the French riders. Great Britain, Haylett and Hood. And Belgium's Van den Boscher and Lindsay Fodder are the third placed riders in the recent world championships in France of 2022. Benjamin Thomas and Donovan Grondard of France, world champions. It's going to be a very, very high-paced, frenetic affair. Indonesia fielding a duo there as well. The Dutch right at the front, on your right, the Germans top left. New Zealand always in with a tremendous effort as well. George Jackson, Thomas Sexton. Sexton, the man in the short sleeve skin suit. Easy to recognize. Italy. Scartezzini, first rider for Italy to be in. His teammate Elia Viviani. Needs no introduction from the Grand Tours of this world and the elimination champion of the world. Right, this is going to be at a very, very high pace. You'll notice these are the 20 riders in at the moment. Teammates waiting for them on the back straight. They've just pedaled off as well. And here go the leaders down the back straight, which is essentially the northern straight of the International Velodrome at Cairo. Right, the Belgians instantly at the front. They're going to make a change now if we see. The Belgians changing, just coming into the home straight here. The Belgian team always handy at this. They drive riding these events. Van der Boscher and of course Robert Gees are the duo from Belgium. Boudard, France. Clément Petit, his teammate. Thomas Sexton of New Zealand. But the French. Have a look at the points. Don't forget, in 7 laps time, there's the first of the point sprints, 5 points, 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point awarded to the teams. The team with the most points at the end is the winner. It's not done on crossing the line first at the end. It's who has the most points. There are 5, 3, 2, and 1 awarded, double points for the end. And every team, any team gaining a lap gets 20 points bonus, and of course any team losing a lap, theoretically a 20-point debit the other way. Right, the French change, Boudard with Petit. No tempo, the riders going around very, very gingerly at this moment. Right, the Belgians, Van der Boscher. Now turn the tempo up a little bit. Robert Gees, teammates there. Right, Italy. Right, there's been a neutral call. There must be a technical. Not sure what the commissaires have called this for. We can't see any mishap on the track. Right, they've neutralized. We're just looking around to find if there is a rider with a technical. Right, neutralized on 93 laps. Right, the commissaire points to the rider returning here. Okay, the start official just checking his pistol. He's going to restart it. Looks like it might have been Scartezzini. It's just back. They will regroup before the start official fires the pistol in the positions that they were in. Right, he's getting the pistol ready. And the race is back on. Early days, 196 laps to go. Well, this almost feels like we've gone backwards, but we'll soon start going forwards at an incredibly brisk and frenetic pace. This event, which really is a difficult one to follow for spectators, that works on points. Elio Viviani just getting himself out. Buddha at the front, the French duo. Also the Kiwis are there. They mean business. George Jackson, Thomas Sexton. That is Sexton, the second place rider on the inside of the track. The short-sleeved skin suit denotes him. Right, the French, Buddha. No sprint lap yet. Scartezzini of Italy with a blue helmet as they go down the back straight. That very familiar Maglia Azzurro as Sexton hands over to his teammate. Jackson in now, representing the land of the silver fern. The Belgians have a sling change as well. Looking at the technique here, before we get to the sprint lap, we can discuss that quickly. There are 2 to go. So you better watch the sprint at the moment. It's France now. They're going to get the bell. They're in with a shot for the money here. The Germans have just changed 3 behind them as well. Can they challenge Kluger? Canada in with a shot. Bibic has been fantastic at these Cup of Nations competitions. So the French are going to get the 5 points. It looks like it's going to be Canada second, Germany third, and Italy on the 1 point after that first of the 20 sprints in this men's Madison. Canada instantly keeping the tempo up, not waiting for it to go down again. Dylan Bibic is only a young rider. He's still in his teens. And then Chris Ernst riding with him. Bibic is a freak rider, they were telling me today. And that comes from one of his competitors. He said this guy is freakishly good. He can do absolutely everything. Right, the Germans now. Always menacing, always a factor. Roger Kluger, Theo Reinhardt. Canada Bibic and his partner. Right. Look out for that neon orange helmet of the French. Very easy to spot. Scartezzini of Italy, the blue helmet behind them as they swing into the north banking now. Buddha was fantastic the other evening in their Omnium event, winning it in great style. Scartezzini of Italy looking for Elio Viviani in the white helmet. Right, the lap's counting down now, 184 to go. It's Canada Bibic. Still dictates things. Change is critical here. You can lose a lot of ground in a bad change. Right, 183 laps to go. Tempo up now as the riders get themselves ready for the next sprint. Belgians, Van der Bosch down the back straight. France at the moment top the field on 5 points. They get to the bell now. Van der Bosch of Belgium as he heads down the back straight. The Germans now challenging. The Dutch coming at them as well. This is going to be a really closely contested sprint here for the money. Holland, the Netherlands, are they going to get it as they cross the line? Let's see who gets the points. France now, Germany get 1. Netherlands get that lap. Belgium get the 2-pointer. At the top of the boards now, the Dutch level with France. Germany on 3. Japan on 3. Canada on 3. Belgium on 2. And still 179 laps to go. Oh, that was a 5-pointer for the Dutch. Japan 3 points, Belgium 2, and Germany on 1 from that lap. On the standings now, the Dutch in the lead. Germany, Japan, that's it on the left. Let's have a look and see how this one unfolds. Right, Viviani, second wheel. Another Canadian Babbage correction. Right, Britain, little go down the back, Tidball and his partner. Certain to be a factor here this evening. Joshua Giddings goes in. Right, that is Sexton, second for New Zealand. High tempo now as they go down the back straight, the northern banking. New Zealand second wheel, Germany up there, the Italians in contention, Boudard France, around 2, Tidball of Britain, Giddings, his teammate. Still a very high tempo. New Zealand down the home straight now, leading. Jackson. Whoa, there's been a crash right in front of the grandstand as Great Britain goes down with Canada. Very unfortunate. Looks like it. The riders should be okay to continue. Touch of wheels would have brought it. We see if we can get a slow motion replay of that and just bring you the action. That is Jackson in now. Sexton, New Zealand. 171 laps. This their sprint lap. Let's see as they go down the back. New Zealand, Germany, Kluger, the tall figure. Scartezzini of Italy challenging there on the wheel. Van der Bosch of Belgium, Scartezzini in with the money. Right, the rider back after a crash. Germany get the 5-pointer there. New Zealand 2. Italy on 3 as Viviani gets slung back into action. Right, Portugal, Yuri Leteo and Diogo Marcisco in there as well. Right, so back to the race now. Germany on 8 points, lead this, Kluger and his partner. And this men's Madison, a frenetic affair. The pace hasn't been all that high just yet. We haven't seen big attacks, but it's going to come. Early days yet. Early days, in fact, Kluger and Reinhardt have the lead. Right, Hong Kong in the red skin suits in here as well. Look out for them. They have a duo there, Leung and Leung. They must be two brothers. Right, the Germans on 8 have the lead. Netherlands 5 points in second. Portugal, you see their skin suit, red with the green tips on his sleeves. Right, Britain easily picked up with their blue shorts now. 163 laps to go. No team has taken a lap or lost a lap at this point. The big bonus is gaining a lap. You get a 20-point bonus for doing so. And there they go. Bit of a move now as the Japanese rider kicks over the top. And that is Imamuro, who was very prolific last night in the men's Omnium competition. Now in the Madison, certainly starting to show. Whoa, and they go down the back there. Wonderful change for the points now. Let's see if the Japanese can hold off the Italians. That's Scartezzini in the blue with the blue helmet, and he comes to the line, he does it. certainly in the money there for Italy. Japan get the 5, but Italy settle for second. Germany atop of the board now with 10 points. Japan has moved up into second brilliantly, thanks to that wonderful effort from Imamura and Kiboki. Right down the back straight, Britain, Giddings and Tidball. Scartezzini in the blue helmet for Italy. Coming up now to get to relay Elia Viviani, that fabled sprinter. Throws him into the fray. Viviani, a wonderful, wonderful bike rider. Great on the road. He's had a career which has spanned since 2006 at big level, at world level. And a stage winner in the Grand Tours. Wonderful competitor, European champion, world champion, and brilliant at Olympic level as well. Right, now the French have a little stab at the front. They want to make it hard. Buda, a brilliant road rider, a man that's known on the Grand Tours as well, ridden one Tour de France. Kluger and his partner Reinhardt, they are the leaders. They've got to keep an eye at the front of the race at all times. It's dangerous when you're deeper down. Front is where the sharp point is of the business here. Right, the Portuguese team now lead going down the northern banking, but not for too long as Scartezzini overtakes. Switzerland come up for a change. Nice and slick. Europeans masters of this. Right, Belgium down the back straight now. And that is Van der Bosche and Robert Geest, the duo in the Blauwe Garde. That very, very renowned Blauwe Garde jersey, the representative jersey of Belgium, which incidentally hasn't changed for many, many years. You can remember the greats. Van Steenbergens, the Van Looys, the Eddy Merckx's of this world, Freddie Martins, they've all won that. Tom Boonen et al. Belgium have been magnificent in not playing with their jerseys. They've always been that light blue with their flag colours around the chest, as we see their change now. The bell goes again. This would be a sprint for the points on 150 to go. And look at Viviani. That's him down the back straight. Elia Viviani. Oh, he was fantastic in the elimination. He's got 3 or 4 bike lengths here, as he certainly overdoes it a wee bit to get his 5 points. But when you've got that sort of speed, now he's caught them off guard. He's keeping the tempo. A very good move from Viviani. Britain have to counter Tidball and his teammate Giddings. Viviani's put Scartezzini in. Kluger, Van der Bosche, Portugal and Great Britain. That's how they go down the back straight. The Portuguese looking really confident here. Let's have a look now at the Portuguese. But a beautifully put together tournament here by Alec Lenferner, the event director, a man who's presented more world championships than any other promoter in the business. So well done to him. He promotes a lot of these events, and this one in particular, the Tissot UCI Nations Cup at Cairo. What a stunning event that they've put together here in this historic city, which dates back to 969 BC, believe that or not. But the tempo here, red hot, as the riders start really churning it up now. Viviani in picture as well. Now churn at the front from the Canadians. Bibic has been very, very good for the land of the Maple Leaf. They do their change. Critical that it's smooth. If you miss a change here, it can cost you the whole length of that group. Right, Ota in there as well. Now the Canadians turn up the pace. Ota, Buda. The Swiss are with them as well. This is the lead of the race as they come past the main grandstand. Buda going down the back straight now. Swiss certainly going to be a factor here. They've looked good. Imhoff and Rueg. The bell goes. This is the 140 lap sprint. Every 10 laps there's a sprint for 5, 3, 2, 1. Buddha down the back straight. The Swiss in second. Canadians in third. That's Buddha, Rueg, Bibic, and their teammates. So the points going there to France, 5, and Swiss getting 3 points. Switzerland, good ride from them. Starting to put their name on the board with their 3 points now. The Germans on 13. Italy creeping closer. Viviani and Scartezzini. The Canadians, Bibic, and his teammate Chris Ernst. Down the back straight they go. Now, the turn again of the Kiwis to show their mettle. That's Thomas Sexton, the man in the short sleeves, now stretching them out. I was just wondering what had come of the Kiwis for a minute. The Swiss counter. The Brits change at high pace in front of the grandstand, the VIP area here. Down the back straight now. Switzerland put the hammer down in pursuit of the Kiwis. Has this Kiwi flown? Let's have a look. They take the east banking, the Sexton team with Jackson. Right, Sexton puts Jackson in. Jackson, the man in the long sleeves. Right, Canada. Bibic and partner. That is Dylan Bibic and Chris Ernst, the two Canadians representing their country here this evening. It's been a magnificent Tissot Nations Cup. That we can tell you. 50 nations, 8 trade teams, 58 teams, about 500 riders, all doing battle for the 14 gold medals on offer here. It's Cairo Velodrome, which is uniquely open-walled, has a very, very high roof, and that done to show the magnificent setting around the velodrome. Wonderful buildings that you can see through the open walls here, making it quite unique. The project started back in 1991 and completed in 2020. The World Junior Champs being held here last year, 2 years back in fact, 2021. You see the Italians changing, the Spanish all up in the picture. The Germans have it to lose. They're on 13 points. The bell goes again as we see the Belgians make their way down. Van der Bosche and his teammate. That is Robert Gees. Now the Spaniards as well. Spain in the points for a change here. Looking a little bit more aggressive here. Mora and Torres. Right, so the Spanish go up to... Yeah, they've got no points at this moment. They get them now. 3 points, a good one for that second. And that has set the race alight a little bit. Some action happening. Oh, good tempo happening now. Japanese, the Belgians. Denmark starting to show as well. Where have they been all evening? They are now going to start putting their foot on the gas. Well, a wonderful change by the Spaniards. Looking really confident, comfortable. Mora. Down the back straight, Belgium. Spain. And on his wheel there, the team from Denmark. Tobias Hansen and Robin Skibelt. Great team that they are as well. Germany winning the Madison on the Jakarta occasion. Netherlands in second, New Zealand in third. Bridgestone Cycling from Japan in fourth wheel on that occasion. That was Jakarta at the end of February. Now the focus is Cairo, this middle of March. They go on to Canada for the third and final leg in Milton. That happens in 3 weeks' time. First time in many years, the UCI decided not to run one of these legs in Europe, running one east, running one west, and running one central, which is exactly where we are here in Cairo. Now, the Danes. Wonderful cycling nation. Tobias Hansen and Robin Skibelt. They're stretching them out. Viviani on the wheel there of the Danish rider. Belgium's duo of... apologies, having a quick look. Van der Bosch and Robert Gees have been prominent all through. Belgium, one of the great cycling nations of the world. They probably hold the key to world cycling. The French might not agree with that, nor will the Italians, but the Belgians are just so passionate about the sport of cycling. And this day as well was the day of Milano San Remo, one of the big classics on the road. Now Scartezzini try to keep the gap tight there. Denmark. Oh, the Spaniards, Mora, pulling at the front. They're going to get points here. Wonderful. Spain have woken up all of a sudden, as they always do in these major events, getting a 3-pointer there. New Zealand have jumped into the lead of this event now, 27 points to Germany's 13. Right, Germany, they've got to do something. Kluge and partner. Denmark getting 5 in that last sprint. Spain, Belgium and France the other points in that encounter for the 120 lap sprint. Right, Kluge. Viviani. Germany will have to do something. They'll have to try and take a lap as they sling each other in here, just alternating partners. Portugal come up for a change. The Dutch in the action as well. The tempo now hugely high. This is very, very high speed racing here, as we see the French rider now, the Spanish rider. Italy changes. Scartezzini gets thrown in. Giddings, third ball for Britain. Right, the Brits change. Oh, Portugal in there as well. Germany this time. Kluge and partner Theo Reinhardt find themselves in second wheel. To New Zealand. Very easy to lose the lead here. You lose a lap and you're gone. It's a 20-point disadvantage as a massive attack comes now from Portugal. Big move past the main stand here. They come past the finish zone. Portugal absolutely flying. They've got 100 meters advantage. The Dutch not going to let them get away that easily. Let's just pick up the Dutch as they go down the back straight in pursuit here of that's Van Skip, the tall figure, and Hopperzak. Vincent Hopperzak will pick them up now. Van Skip, very unorthodox man, a tall rider. He's out now. That is Van Hop going around now to get the bell for another 5-pointer. The Dutch certainly to get 5 points. They are absolutely hurtling along. Portugal, the Netherlands. Will van Hop past the Portuguese rider. We're not going to speculate. He's coming along very quickly, but he sits up. He's going to settle for the 3. Portugal will get 5 points here. The Dutch on 3. But now, they put the tall figure in from the Netherlands there, and that is Van Skip, Jan Van Skip. Tall rider, one of the tallest men in this competition. And he really has a good turn of speed, both sprinting and as a tempo man, as you see him going down the back straight now. So the Dutch rider Van Skip and the Portuguese have the momentary lead. It's all about points here though, as Eli gets a shove in from Scartezzini. The leaders now coming into the main straight to change, Portugal and the Netherlands. That's leaders on the lap, not leaders on points. So looking down the back straight, the Dutch team have the lead with the Portuguese. Portugal coming in for a change in the west banking now. They come right up to the finish. And it is Holland and Portugal, the Netherlands and Portugal. That's the shorter rider on the Netherlands team, which is Hopperzak, Vincent Hopperzak. He's going to hand over now to the tall figure of Van Skip. That's it. Van Skip gets his turn down the back straight. Right, in the main straight, the leaders come now. We see Scartezzini going down the back straight with the New Zealand rider. And that is George Jackson. He's got the long black sleeve. The Swiss make a change as well. But the Dutch rider and the Portuguese now have the lead. They've just gone into the back straight. So let's have a look at the back straight. That's where the leaders are. And coming into the home straight now, the two leading riders on this lap. That is the Dutch duo and the Portuguese. They're going to try and gain a lap. It'll be very, very impressive if they do. Going down the back straight now, the leaders on the track. The Germans trying to respond. Britain in no man's land. The French in no man's land. The bell goes here for the Dutch-Portuguese train, that duo. So the Spanish trying to counter as well, but contesting now is the teammate of Van der Skip, that's Hoppazak, with the Portuguese rider. They're going to change right at the bell, but Van der Skip will get the points here, no question of doubt. Let's just see if it is accurate to come up. The Netherlands get the points, Portugal 3, Germany 2, and in fourth position. But the focus now, the riders all over the track. The leaders come past the main finish. The leaders now going down the back straight. Portugal and the Netherlands are in the lead. Netherlands getting 5 points there, Portugal 3, Germany 2, and France on 1 point. Buddha just gets a changeover now. Right, so going down the back straight now. The theoretic leaders will come into the finish zone now. We'll watch for the commissaire's hand, and he will indicate the leaders. Right, going down the back, another move from the Canadians. Portugal, Germany, the Netherlands, France, Great Britain, and Belgium. That's how they go down into the west banking now to cross the finish line. The commissaire points out at this group of riders. The Germans now counter-attacking. New Zealand have a 11-point advantage on the Germans, and Canada have lost 20 points being lapped there, as of Indonesia. So where they now slip down, relegated, minus 15. Bogota on minus 15 as well. Right, here comes the lead rider, the Germans. They've put the sword down. Let's see if they can gain a lap. They've got to do a lot of work here. They're 11 points down on the Kiwis, and they're now trying to take a lap. Let's focus on the finish straight here. The Germans are trying to take a lap. Kluger and his partner. That's Reinhardt. Reinhardt and Kluger. Down the back straight they go. The Belgians are coming up to them now. So, Buddha, France as well. Right, coming up here. Great Britain in contention too. The Germans going down the back straight. Kluger with a black number. The red number belongs to Theo Reinhardt. Right, the bell goes as Kluger goes down the back straight. He's got company from Belgium and Britain to try and deny him those points. Kluger. Britain trying to change in the sprint here, but Kluger will collect the points, the 90 lap points that is. Germany will get 5 there. They'll creep closer to New Zealand, who didn't score on this lap. They're now 6 points adrift. New Zealand on 27 have the lead. Germany second, 21 points. Right, the lead is just crossing the finish. Belgian rider, one of them, Van der Boscher. Big change there from the Austrians, Kokas and Ritzinger. No points yet for the Austrians, but they are talented men who could be lurking and unleashing their best with the laps tapping by. We 90 laps to go, 88 to be precise. Divide that by 4, you'll get the kilometers. Britain, very slick change at the front. So Tidball, the man in for Britain at the moment. The poles change. Change coming as well at the front there. Team 17, which is the Austrians, Rafael Kokas and Felix Ritzinger. Kokas very prominent on the opening 2 evenings. Surely going to unleash something here. There's no question of that. Right, so there we go. The Spaniards down the back. That is Sebastian Mora. Counter from the French. They've got to keep them in sight here. Right, the French now. That is Petit as he goes down the back straight in Le Tricolore. The leader coming down the home straight. Britain trying to counter. The lone leader hurtling along there. And the Spanish team looking really, really committed here as Torres goes into the western banking to cross the line yet again here. So the Spaniards leading this one in distance, but effectively not on points. The Spanish need a couple of points to climb that ladder. They're on 8 points at the moment, in 8th position. Good slick change from them, but the Germans counter. Germany counters very aggressively there, meaning business. Right, the Spaniards in. Black number belongs there to Roger Kluge of Germany as they go. He's going to pass the Spaniards and take a 5-pointer here. 5 points will put him 1 down on New Zealand. The gap shrinking, that's if the Kiwis don't get points, and in fact they don't on this lap. So that's going to go very, very close now. 1 point between it. New Zealand atop the board. Germany in second. Remember that this is decided on a points basis. Sprints every 10 laps, 5, 3, 2 and 1 points, double for the last lap. Any team gaining a lap gets a 20-point bonus. Quite simple. Right, now focusing our attention. The New Zealanders have come out of their bit of hibernation. French team leading here are the leaders on the track. And that again is Petit. Right, New Zealand. The Kiwi leading here. Got to get some grip back, George Jackson. They are leading on points by a marginal 1. And the Dutch now smell a little bit of blood. Have they sensed some weakness as they instantly unleash another attack? Jan van Schip is the tall rider. That is his teammate as they go around there. And that is Hopperzak, Vincent Hopperzak, the shorter rider in the team. Now the tall man. Van Schip gets slung in by Hopperzak. Let's look at the size of him. He rides an extra large track bike, the biggest size that they make. And like most teams here, like all teams in fact, a rear disc and a 5-spoke front wheel. That is the short sleeve Sexton in the colours of New Zealand. They are the leaders. Little respite at the moment here. It's a short little break as the tempo comes right down. Sexton going to put his teammate into this one. That's Jackson who gets the sling from Sexton. Portugal do a change as well. Elia Viviani awaits his change. Scartazzini, the man in blue, going to sling in Viviani. Portugal might be in the middle. Oh, yes, a good change there as Viviani gets him. Belgium, Britain, Portugal, Italy. What better could you wish for? The world's leading cycling nations all year in this historic city of Cairo. With only 72 laps to go now of this 200-lap Madison race. So the race effectively in its final third, the 70-lap sprint. Let's have a look now. It's Great Britain as they go down. Germany, Kluge. He's a wonderfully talented rider. Kluge, the taller man. Viviani, the ace sprinter. Has he got the legs to pass Kluge here? Indeed he will. Nobody outguns Viviani as he gets 5 points there for Italy. Germany would have loved those points because it would have put them on top of the board. They still go with their 3 points now. 2 ahead of New Zealand. Italy in third. Elia Viviani and his teammates Scartazzini, Micheli. Right, let's watch now. Britain, Tidball as they go down the back straight. Sexton for New Zealand in the short sleeves. Portugal goes up with him, not interested in making the pace. The French come by as well. That's Boudra just standing over to his teammate, Petit. Clément Petit, the man on the yellow and black bike. Yellow, black and blue bike. Very, very famous brand of bike that he rides. Portugal, not worried about bike shopping at the moment. They put the hammer down. They're trying to gain some valuable ground and to take a lap here. The Portuguese have woken up. Japan changing. But this blistering from Portugal, they're going to have to change pretty shortly now. This rider will be looking for his teammate as they go around there. Portugal, wonderful, wonderful effort. They've put the hammer down. That is Yuri Latadio of Portugal and Diego Marisco, his teammate, Marchisco. Right, let's look now. Portugal still with momentum. That's Marciso is in, Diego Marciso, and looking for Yuri Latayo. Let's look if they can maintain it. The bunch picking up tempo now. Marcisco. He'll be running in the red at the moment, certainly in oxygen there, looking for that change, desperate for it now. Yuri Letayo is going to come in and relieve it. There we go. Watch this change. That is Letayo coming in. Oh, he's in. The French have also made a change. 2 laps now to the next points lap. The Germans, Kluger just in as well. They're depending on Kluger to amass the points here for Germany in the sprints. Viviani again gets the shift. He's in. Gets the change there from Scartezzini. Viviani in third wheel. They come to the bell. And now going into the back straight there. It's still the Portuguese rider. Hasn't managed to get a lap. He might get 5 points out of it. Kluger's going to go for the 3. France, Viviani, minor points here, but Viviani's going to kick over. He's always deadly in these sprints. Indeed he does. Well done, Senor Viviani, as he gained some valuable points there. Italy on 20 points now. The Germans on 31 points. New Zealand on 27. They're going to have to show what they've got. Italy third on 20. Portugal have moved up dramatically into 4th position. Well done to that duo. Right, respite in the bunch. Hesitation. That gives Britain the chance of tempo. The Brits dive over the top here. And that is Tidball as he goes down the back. The Danes, instant response from them as well as Tobias Hansen. It's not going to let Tidball away. Right, Skivild comes in for Denmark. Down the back straight now, it is Giddings of Great Britain. Right, the Danes, Skivild, Giddings. Shift, a changeover from Spain. Look at that. Huge gain of momentum there from that change. Gidding, Skivild, the Danes and Britain at the front, but the Spanish are countering. Oh, there we go. Kluger relays his partner. That's the chance of Reinhardt to join the fray. Very high tempo here, this event which emanated in the United States, in Madison Square Gardens to be precise, in New York City. Back in the 1800s, early 19s, this was a huge form of entertainment. The tracks initially were round, believe it or not, almost like a circus wall of death, and they then became ovalized. And this Madison event, very, very popular back at the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries. So, interesting event. Professionals racing, lots of betting those days in Madison Square Garden, still the home of lots of contests and concerts, boxing in particular. As we see the Belgians now make the tempo going down the back straight in this hall of entertainment in Cairo City, this historic city, dates back to 969 BC as the Belgians hear the bell and they dash for the points. Right, Belgium, Giddings. Great Britain in second wheel. Elio Viviani, the Italian speedster, goes wide there, almost running into slow traffic. He's going to get some points here, but a little bit delayed, in fact, a little bit balked by the slow traffic here to pass. But such a talented man is Viviani, just those senses from jockeying, navigating in the World Tour, Grand Tour bunches in those last 10 kilometers. He knows just how to swim in the peloton. Belgium, they get the relay at the moment. Van der Bosche, Gees gets put in. See the Belgians now, hands atop the bars, pursuit style, as Van der Bosche takes up the baton for Belgium. Robert Gees will be waiting for him. Now response, Scartezzini, the Italian, on the pace here. Right, Tidball, relays, Giddings comes in. Scartezzini for Italy is in. Elia Viviani gets the sling in from Scartezzini. Not any urgency there. Going to wait for the points rather in 6 laps time and try and gain a lap is Elia Viviani. Sexton puts his teammate in for New Zealand. That's George Jackson. 5 laps to the next sprint. That'll be the 40-lap sprint. 10 kilometers to go after that. Right, going down the back. Jackson. tall figure with the black skin suit for New Zealand. Kluger puts his partner Reinhardt in. Right, Germany 5 points ahead of New Zealand now. Italy in third in 23, Belgium in fourth, Portugal 16. Very easy to gain. Well, easy to gain the victory here if you can gain a lap. Not so easy to do that. But 20 points are awarded to any team lapping the field. So that is the best way for a lowly positioned team to try and amass enough points to get to the top of the board or somewhere in the picture. Right, the French lead us down the back straight. The Germans have always been there. The Spanish have been there. The Belgians have been there. New Zealand in second wheel. That's on the standings. So, Mora representing Spain here. The Belgians just coming over his shoulder. Van der Bosche. This is a bell lap. Let's see how this unfolds now. The Germans get the perfect, sling it at the right point. Exactly at the bell. The Belgians are in as well, and Robert Gijs is going to sprint for Belgium. Has he got the legs to do it? Viviani not contesting this time. Italy out of the picture. Belgium going to get a 5-pointer here. Spain will get the 3. Looks like the Germans are going to get 2. Maybe the French on 1 point here. So that puts Germany on 34 points. New Zealand 27 in third. Italy being challenged now by the Belgians for that bronze medal. Portugal will have to do something. Right, so here we go. Germany. Always in contention. That is Jackson of New Zealand. Just swings up the track. Belgian rider with him there is Robert Gijs. Now the Dutch. The Dutch have a go there. That orange skin suit of theirs. Van Schip is the shorter rider. The taller rider is going to get slung in now. The shorter man is Hoppezak. Watch their change as they put each other in there and going down into the back straight. Hoppezak gets a sling from the tall man Van Schip. The Dutch are now trying to get a lap on this field. Sexton goes up for the peloton in New Zealand's black skin suit. This is Hoppezak of the Dutch, the Netherlands. He's going down the back straight in vigor. It's now or never. They want to grab a lap. Let's see what Van Schip does when he gets thrown in here by Hoppezak. Hoppezak coming into the main straight now. 5 laps to a points sprint as well. But he's now absolutely looking for the tall figure there of Van Schip. He gets him slung in perfectly. Van Schip takes on the chase again. It's now or never. The Dutch are trying to get a lap. If they get 20 points, they're going to become a factor. That'll put them on 33 points in the silver medal position. The Netherlands now down the back straight. The tall man Van Schip now desperately going down the back straight. Has he got the legs? Hasn't he? Let's have a look. Hoppezak now waiting for him. Van Schip surely must be running into oxygen debt. He's going to get relieved of his baton roll in the end of the back straight. The change comes up. Van Schip looking for him. He gets to it and puts Hoppezak in brilliantly. Right, there they go. The Dutch now. The leaders on the track, on the lap. Not on points, but on the lap. So let's see if they can close this gap on the peloton to gain a 20-point bonus. Scartazzini of Italy. They can smell it coming. They're picking up the tempo. They don't want to lose the bronze medal. This a points lap as well. Great Britain this time. Giddings is going to get the 5-pointer by the looks of it. But that'll be 3 because the Dutch now, Hoppezak, will get the 5 points. So let's watch it here. Hoppezak. He's going to put Van Schip in. The points an issue to them here. They're going to get a 5-pointer as the tall figure relays or gets relayed into it by the shorter figure. Just look at the size of that man. He rides an extra large track bike, does Van Schip. He's going to gain a lap now. They've got 50 meters to still go before they gain it. Let's see if he can. The tempo really high. The Italians, Viviani flying along on the other banking. He's keeping the Dutch adrift here. Viviani, very strategic. It's going to take it out of him for the sprints. It's now or never for him. He's got to keep the gap from closing. He puts Scartazzini in. Down the back straight. This man here, he's panting. He's doing everything he can. That is Hoppezak there. He's going to put the tall man in. Van Schip now. And they're going to bridge it. This is going to be a 20-point bonus. Let's look at it. The commissaire points to them. They've got to try and close the gap. The Spanish won't hear of it. The New Zealanders are countering as well. A very, very tough one for this nation, the Dutch. They've sensed the danger, have the other teams. They've just kept the tempo high. And can he close it now? Surely they do. And the tall man, Van Skip, as he gets slung in there, is going to close this gap. They're going to get 20 points from this. Let's have a look now. The Dutch have done it. Their 20-point bonus will come up. Well done to the men in orange. The Oranje, they get a 20-point bonus here. That's going to put the Dutch amongst the pigeons, no question of doubt. There's their 20-point bonus. Let's see what happens now. Right to the top of the table. Brilliantly done. Fantastic coverage of this by our Egyptian camera crew as well. They picked it up, they've spotted it. Van Skip and his teammate there are now the effective leaders on points of this event. That is Vincent Hoppazak, brilliantly done. They were stretched to the maximum by Elia Viviani. Mora of Spain stretched them out as well. The other team smelling the danger. What will the Kiwis do now? They find themselves in the bronze medal position. The Dutch have grabbed the gold from Germany. The Germans more prolific in the sprint, so they're going to peg away at these points. 3 laps to go to the next one. Surely the Dutch can't have anything in their legs now to contest the 20-lap sprint. Britain goes in. Giddings gets the slick. Giddings goes down the back straight. Just been put in by Tidball. Then the Germans are in there. They're going to put Kluge in for the sprint lap. That is Reinhardt there representing Germany. Who's got the legs at this point? Scartezzini of Italy is going to be snooping for the points and swooping on them. He's in third wheel at the moment. Jackson in the black skin suit. Doesn't look like he's got legs for the sprint, but Scartezzini is going to contest it. The Germans will get the 5-point here, which will put them 1 point ahead of the Dutch. This is a ding-dong battle of absolute note. And let's see how the points are awarded now. Just want to keep a tab on that. Let's get the adjudication on those points, because this could well put Germany back on top. Just waiting for the points to be ratified. Germany do get 5 points. Italy 3. And indeed, they go atop the board, beating the Dutch now by a solitary point. The Dutch not as fast maybe in the sprint contest here as what they were in getting their lap up on them. So the Dutch, have they run their run, or have they got bullets left in their gun? Let's see what happens now. Right, this is the lead of the race as they come past the main straight. Viviani just in pursuit of the Kiwis, who are trying to get some daylight. Scartezzini countering. He's got to watch them now, because Italy have slipped into 4th. New Zealand are in 3rd. The Dutch in 2nd, and 1 point ahead of the Netherlands, Germany. Anybody who thought a Madison event over 200 laps or 50 kilometers was boring, think again. Right, over the top they go. They kick. This Japan now. This will be Imamura having a stab for Japan. Right, it's really pushing. That's Imamura. Been great in the event so far through this competition. The Canadians there as well, but they were a lap down. Right, change from Italy. Viviani comes in. Got to look for points here, because Italy on 27, 4 points behind New Zealand. A Viviani sprint could probably make the difference. 15 laps to go. There's going to be a sprint in 4 laps time. Remarkable how these riders manage that. Germany dominating. Reinhardt and Kluge, brilliant at this business. Wonderful ride as they try and counter Imamura and the Japanese team. Imamura now gasping for air. He's got 2 laps to go before he's going to look for points. Imamura and Kumoki. Let's have a look. They're both on a warning. They've been yellow carded for a change offense here. But Imamura now. The bell's going to go. Germany sling each other in. The Belgians are in the hunt as well. Right, Imamura as they go down the back straight. That is Reinhardt for Germany. It is the Belgian rider in 3rd is Geis there. Come to the wire now. Germany going to get the 5 points by the looks of it there. Belgium will get 3, 2 to Japan. And indeed now, Germany cementing their lead a little bit. The Dutch slipping back just a touch. They were brilliantly, desperately good in getting that lap, gaining a lap on the field to jump up to the top of the board. Overhauled now by Germany with that 6-point margin. Germany brilliant at this. Wonderful, wonderful exponents of this are Reinhardt and Kluge. And this has been a nail-biting Madison. Spain have a dip at the front now. That's Mora's teammate as they go through the ranks here. Spain looking really good. The other rider on the team is Torres. Come up to change, put Great Britain as well now. chasing down, but the Spanish, they have the lead. Britain in second wheel. This could neutralize things. That's Mora as he goes down the back. That is Tidball in second position there, chasing with all his might for Great Britain. Was brilliant in the elimination title of this event when he got gold. Now Sexton in that black of New Zealand. He puts Jackson in. This is all or nothing now. The Portuguese countering as well. The Germans, Belgium, Italy seem a little bit out of steam. They've gone very hard for the points here. Scartezzini tries to close now. At the front, it's the Spanish duo there. Mora and his teammate. Let's see if Torres and Mora can make the difference. Mora in at the moment. Torres in at the moment. He's going to put Mora in. Let's see. Huge encouragement here for the riders. Great Britain in as well. Jackson, the Kiwi, down the back straight. Portuguese changing two now. 3 laps to go. Only 3 to go. The Germans now 44 points, but the Kiwis looking for points. They're trying to cement their bronze. 2 laps to go now. That's Mora. Jackson. Sexton now has the lead for New Zealand as they go down. The bell will ring at this lap when they come by. It indeed does. It's the big race for the points now. Mora of Spain in second. Sexton in the hunt. Portugal looking for points as well on this occasion. That is Leitayo. He's going to get the maximum point. Oh no, as they come to the wire. No doubt there. That is the Spaniard Mora who gets the maximum points. Tayo of Portugal settles for second on that points lap. But let's see what the aggregates look like. The Germans have probably done enough to keep it. The Netherlands will thread the silver. Well, a fantastically exciting Madison there. Germany seem to have done enough. The Kiwis have done a great ride as well. Will they hold on to the bronze medal? We're just waiting for the tally of the points here. And in fact, they do. In first in the gold medal will be Germany. Netherlands getting second. A great ride from them. That lap they took was absolutely critical to the race. New Zealand, aggressive from the start in third. And the Belgians settle for fourth. Italy, not in the medals in spite of that great ride from Scartezzini and of course Elia Viviani. Those are the riders in the other positions, but a highly exciting 50-kilometer Madison here. The series now, the event's starting to draw to a close. We've got a wonderful program. It's been almost 4 days of magnificent racing. So we've seen that Madison. Now the men's sprint. Going to be Humdinger. We ride for third and fourth, which will see the Polish rider, whether he's got the legs or not, because Yakovlev has gone through to the final against the Frasers. And we're now in the final run into this series. We are chatting about the medal protocol ceremony as well. But that was a humdinger of a 50-kilometer Madison. The way it should be done, the way it should be run. Germany just too good for the others on this occasion. Right, the sprint which will happen now is the ride-off for third and fourth, which is the rider in the red shorts for Poland, Mateusz Rudik and Kaya Ota, representing Japan and his trade team on this occasion. This is the final now of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup, the men's sprint, the race for the bronze medal here between, sitting up there, Kaya Ota of Japan and the rider on his right shoulder from Poland, Mateusz Rudik. Brilliant result there in the men's Madison. The Germans were great, doing it once again. The Dutch will get the silver medal. And chatting to them, the Belgians, unfortunately, not in the medals. Just look at the stare. These two riders really stare each other out. A little bit of psychology at the start. Ota has the $1 million smile. Rudik stared back at him with maybe $1,001,000, but That is the sprint game. It's all a mind game. The big decision here is when to go. Every sprinter has his optimal distance. And thinking logically about it, if the other sprinter doesn't contest a 5-meter sprint, even the weakest of sprinters could win it. And obviously that's exaggerated, but thinking back to that peak distance where that's your moment and you can do it. Some sprinters like to come from the front, others like to come from behind. On these small tracks, the advantage is often leading out because it's a long way around that steep banking for the rider trying to pass. They have 2 laps to go when they come by here. Kaya Ota of Japan. Man of the rising sun, you see that red dot on his skin suit. Polish rider behind him. Ota. Oh, Rudik. Ota Rudik. This a little bit of ding-dong going on here between these two. A couple of body punches in cycling terms. The bell goes, Ota has the lead. Maybe that's what he's wanted. He wants to lead this one out. He's got to watch both sides. He keeps to the red line. Now he takes the sprinter's lane, which means Rudik can't challenge him on the inside. Rudik comes over the top. Has he got the legs? It looks like Ota's going to do it. A good ride there from Ota. Wonderful as he goes 1-0 up. So a great ride there from Ota. Kaya Ota of Japan. 1-0 against Rudik of Poland. Outmaneuvered him. He dominated the sprint all the way from the gun and led out. When it got to speed, he hovered in the middle. Then he took the sprinter's lane. He did come out a little bit in the running line, but not so that would interest the commissaires, in my opinion. The red line that he's passing there, the sprinter's lane, which is a safety lane for the riders engaging it. It's often a measuring device as well for the commissaires, because the rule says you may not deviate horizontally or laterally by more than 90 centimeters. There he is, Harry Lefrayson, the reigning Olympic and world champion in the sprint, rider 164, represents the Netherlands on this occasion. Had his birthday at these championships on the 15th of March, 2 days ago. His teammate Hoogland also enjoying a birthday. Early to the start. We're having a small technical with Yavkolev's bike, cleating him in. Of course, these sprinters cleating in very, very securely, because the effort of their ski type of cleat facility of their pedals between shoes and pedal gets quite compromised from the slow starts when they twist their legs quite vigorously sideways in that shoving, heaving, opening acceleration. Yakovlev on the outside, on our left, in the colors of Israel. Lefrayson has drawn 1 year, obliged to lead out first section of the race, only 3 laps in it, 750 meters. Lefrayson, very experienced, been on the top rung of the podiums of world sprints for many, many years. And a multiple world champion, 4 times world sprint champion, 4 times team sprint champion of the world, 3 times Keirin champion. What more can we say? He has a rap sheet that if he was a criminal, he'd never ever get out of prison. We can assure you of that. But let's focus on leg 1 of the sprint here. 2 laps to go. Yavkolev playing cat and mouse here with the big gun, Harry Lefrayson. Lefrayson, shorter start here. Yavkolev, taller. A strapping character as he takes the lead here against Lefrayson. Lefrayson's got the work to do here to see if he can get over the shoulder of Yavkolev. He's got a challenge in the back straight. It's a long, long way around the banking. He does. He sees what he can do, but now he's got that long banking to try and get over Yavkolev. Has he got the speed? Has he not? Yes, and he's got it. Oh, dear. You lead him out, he beats you. He leads you out, you beat him. He got a little scare in the semi-final, but other than that, it's been an absolutely impeccable record. If you look at Lefrayson, he never ever looks off guard or looks ruffled. just so calm. It's that poker face of his as he ties it up. Brilliantly done, Harry Lefrazen, to go 1-0 up on Yavkolev in the men's sprint here. Appreciative crowd, they just love the action. Well done, Harry Lefrazen. He goes 1 up on Yavkolev. Now the turn of the women in the Omnium, the third of their legs. It is the elimination. Right, elimination essentially is a devil take the hindmost in old terms. And the second name, the old-fashioned name, the devil, is a very, very apt name. I suppose elimination as well. The last rider, every other lap of the track, gets eliminated. Please focus when you watch our coverage here on the last extremity, the back extremity of the last rider. That is the line the commissaires judge by. If there is a tight call where they can't decide, it's a neutral lap. And if they do miscall, they neutralize the race and allow the rider that they've miscalled off erroneously back into the race. Here, of course, there are no points at all. Nothing to do with points gained, laps lost. If you do dare to cross the lap last every other lap, or the finish last on every other lap, you are relegated and eliminated. And the devil takes you. Whatever your favorite title for this race, this is a nail-biter. The focus is on the back of the race as they eliminate riders, but keep one eye on the front of the race as well, because that is where the winners often lurk. They'll be taking the inside lane, first wheel, second wheel, right shoulder of the leader, and just maintaining an open view, because while you've got open daylight in front of yourself, you're getting wind, but you can't be boxed in. Very dangerous second, third wheel on the inside, because there's often nowhere to go as the riders come fanning up and over their right shoulder as they desperately try and avoid the elimination call from the commissaires panel here. This the Omnium for women. 4 disciplines. The first one was the scratch. The second one was the tempo race. The third one, this elimination. The riders awarded 40 points for being the first or the winner of one of these 4 legs. 38 for second, 36 for third, etc. They amass those points at the end of the 3 legs, but go into the 4th leg with those points being live and being added to by every sprint lap in the points race. So let's have a look now at the women's elimination. This part of the Omnium. See, they start in 2 lines, one atop the track, one on the inside. That to keep the start order shorter than longer, and they're all lined up in one long line.
Now to women's Omnium elimination race.
Right.
Riders on the fence are Ali Walson, New Zealand, Jennifer Valti, United States of
Have a
America.
look here. Wollaston, Valente, Van der Duyn, Joseph, Amber.
Barbados, Maria Martins, Portugal, Petra
Those are the points.
Czechia, Madeline
Ireland.
Great Britain, Catherine Douglas,
Mia Griffin, they've had a fantastic event.
China, Lee Joseph, Germany.
Right, they cling to the fence here, all of these women's Omnium riders. Ali Wollaston has the lead. She's on 80 points coming into this. In 8th position, the Spaniard, La Rarete.
Victoire Berto, France, Von Stenberg, Uruguay, Rukini Lillard, Spain, Maho Kakita, Rakotin,
Mia Griffin, in the Irish colours, held up here by a handler.
Mexico, Wayne Lindsay, Pro Cycling Team, Mia Griffin,
Denmark's Didriksen, pensive.
States,
Wonderful rider, World Junior Road Race Champion twice, then goes on to win the World Elite Road Race Championship. 6 or 7 women have done it historically, Marianne Vos one of those, but what a fantastic Palma that would be, to have won the Women's World Junior Road Race Champs twice and the Senior Women's one recently. She's just so multidisciplined, can win on the track and road. Right, the start underway, Diedrichsen. Waterston, the series leader. Let's see what happens here. First lap is neutral. Then they start eliminating. Jonker of South Africa on the inside in the green colours. At the back. Right, Amber Joseph in that yellow skin suit, tucked in behind the wheel in a dangerous position. Switzerland finds himself in a spot of bother here. They'll have to challenge. There's a double lap every time for the elimination. Let's see who they eliminate and goes out here. Right, rider 271 has been called off by the commissaires here. That is Xi Wing Lee of Hong Kong, China. Belgium safely takes them around the back straight, staying out of trouble. That's the spot to be. But we've got to watch the back of the race here because Keirin Leclerc is a seasoned elimination rider. Knows just where to sit. 291, that is Jonker getting the call there, unfortunately. So Kerry Jonker gets the call off, one that you don't want at this event because that means you're eliminated. Right, now the bell goes again. It's another hot lap. Let's see how this one unfolds here. Early days in this elimination. Diedrichsen has a very comfortable stance at the front there, out of trouble. Stenberg of Norway, Diedrichsen, Stenberg, the world champion from the United States, comfortable as well, well positioned. And that is Jennifer Valente. Mexico gets the call on this occasion. That is Valesco who is called out. Right, now the lap's going down. It's really, really exciting when they come down to a handful of riders. They continue all the way until one rider is left. Place not to be is high and wide at the back like that. It's a long way around. The track goes up and down with you. It's almost like doing interval training. Right, Ali Wollaston just keeps a nice tempo, keeps herself out of trouble. And this is unfortunately Mia Griffin who gets the call off from Ireland. Right, this is Art Lap. Let's focus on the back of the group and just see what happens here. Right, the race has been neutralized. Must have been a missed call. Technical or a missed call, one or the other. Right, there's a technical down here. The British lady has a problem, the British rider. And that's Madeleine Leach. It looks like she has a flat rear wheel. The soigneurs and mechanics waiting for the riders on the inside of the track. All the pits are inside the track. And that is a back wheel fix, so the bunch will just hover around until they get Leach back on with a changed back wheel. Track bikes, of course, on the opposite to the road bikes, where road bikes have quick release wheels, almost Formula One style. You can change a road bike wheel within 30 seconds. The track bike wheels usually get tightened with 15mm spanners, so it still has a ring spanner. The reason for that is you can't have quick release systems on the track with the riders riding that closely to each other. They can easily unhitch them and cause accidents. Of course, the rear wheels as well of track bikes with those huge gears need the security of a bolt-on, lock-on system. So their wheel fixing system, pretty much like the old inexpensive bikes before the advent of mountain bikes. The first bike to school probably had similar nuts that tightened the wheels. Right, Leach, back in action. Tire pressures here, the tubular tires, those encased tubulars, 140 psi. Sorry, 114 bars, correction. My correction on that. So the clincher tires, if there are tubulars here, about 8.5 bars. The tubular ties in the region of 14 bars, over 200 pounds of pressure. Right, the bell goes. Let's focus on the race now. The Barbadian, Amber Joseph, dangerous, right at the back there, dangerously poised. She's in the yellow skin suit. She challenges over the top, putting the Norwegian in trouble at the moment here. Rider from Hong Kong on the inside finds herself in trouble if they fan over the top. Watch the back of the race because that's where it happens. Oh, right, that is the Austrian, Verena Eberhardt, who gets the call from the commissaire. Right, so Austria have lost their rider. The bell goes again. No respite here. This time the Barbadian has hit the front. That's Amber Joseph. The yellow colours. Short-lived as the Belgians fan over, or Belgium fans over, as does Didrikson, as does the Swiss rider there. Let's see what happens. They come to the wire here. They push and, whoa, awfully tight. Oh, Greece, Milaka. Argira Milaka gets the call off from the commissaires. She's heard it, she's heeded it, and off she goes. Right, now another bell lap, a hot lap. Every other lap one rider gets called off until we have one left. This for points, 40 for the winner, 38 for second in the women's Omnium. Didrikson. France always prominent. Victoire Berthaud in the French colours on the inside. Ali Wollaston, the series leader from New Zealand, in the black, just making sure she's safe. Oh, the Egyptian rider, the local rider gets the call off here. Really sad for her. And that is Ebri son, Zayed Ahmed, who gets the call off. Laps now counting down. Another hot lap. Focus on the back. That's the trouble side of this bunch here as the rider's gone. The Belgian rider finds herself in a little bit of bother as well. Leclerc, is she going to kick? She's dangling dangerously at the back there. She's got to come over wide, fan over. That's a long way around, and the track goes up and down with you. Leclerc seems to... okay. Well, that is Kakita from Japan who gets the call. The unfortunate call off in the black skin suit from the commissaires. Another hot lap. Belgium's Leclerc. Highly experienced bike rider. She knows just how to conduct herself under this sort of pressure. Stay near the front and you stay out of trouble. Inside, back is problems, and of course on the outside you've got to keep fanning over. Look at the rider in yellow here. Yeah, she might make it, but they fan over the top, and whoa, there they touch shoulders and handlebars, but they stay upright. Spanish Labrarte gets the call off, unfortunately for her. So there we see her, Labrarte in the white helmet, white colours. She heeds to the call of the commissaires. Another hot lap. Norway, dangerously poised at the back. Stenberg of Norway. Is she going to kick over the top? Yes, she does. It puts the German in trouble here. And that is Teutenberg of Germany. Swiss rider now, badly positioned if the two top ones fan over. Let's see if she can survive this. Oh, let's wait. Yes, unfortunately for her, that is Aileen Seitz who gets the goodbye call from the commissaires panel. There's that hopeless moment if you find yourself on the inside and a couple of lines back, nowhere to go, you can't fan over the top, and a really bad position, as Seitz discovered there. Right, not detracting from her, we're now down to about a 14-15 strong women's field in leg 3 of their Omnium, the elimination race. Right, let's watch here. Yeah, that's going to go the way of the Barbadian. Joseph gets the call here. She's been living dangerously on the inside, but finally gets the call. Now slipping down. About 5, 8, 10 riders left. Looking at them quickly there. The bell goes again. Another hot lap. Right at the front, a great position. Second, maybe in the inside can work. Further back than that, dangerous. British rider now, Madeleine Leach, who enjoyed a technical break. Oh, she's got to hope that they don't fan. She should be safe. The Belgian here in trouble. Leclerc, is she going? Is she staying? China. Jiali Louis gets the call here. Right, focus on the back of the race, and you will see where the devil waits with his chopper. Right, let's see now. The devil's got that fork in the Tour de France. Here, the devil stabs the last lady as she crosses the line. They're on every other lap. Right, Wollaston, dangerous. At the back, what is she going to do? Whoa, 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 whoa. Did she make a blunder there? Can you believe it? The series leader bows out on this one. Leg 3 of 4 of this Omnium. That's a turn up for the books because she'll get very low points here, and it could well threaten her lead. Right, let's look. The bell goes again. Let's focus on the back rider. That's Norway's entrant here. That is Stenberg of Norway. Dangerous, but she looks like she's kicked over okay. Kicking now. Didriksen in the red colours. The red skin suit of Denmark versus Norway. The Scandinavians, but this could be Belgium's turn. Oh, that is it. That is Keirin Leclerc of Belgium, who gets the unfortunate news that she's been eliminated. Didriksen still in with a shot there. The Dutch girl looking good as well. We're going to start looking at the front of the race rather than the back now, as we see the Netherlands, their representative, looking good as well. Van der Duyn of the Netherlands. Watch. Oh, this could be Czechia. Yeah, that is it. Right, Czechia gets it. And that is Sekifkova. Unfortunately out for her. We're down to 3, 6, 8 riders now. The sharp end of the blade. Sharp end of the devil's fork. As the bell goes again. And Germany looking really confident here. Teutenberg of Germany. Didriksen of Denmark. Precarious, the Norwegian. Is she going to survive? She kicks over the top. Is it enough? Is it going to be the Dutch rider? Oh, indeed it is her. That is really, really bad news for her there. As Van der Duyn bows out. Another bell lap. Now the very sharp end of the devil's fork. Handful of riders left. Leach looking good for Britain. Didriksen. Teutenberg of Germany. Berthaud. Victoire Berthaud of France in there as well. The Norwegians survived it. Stenberg, is she going to make it this time? Germany, Teutenberg gets the call. Well, that's a bit of a turn up for the books here. One of our top contenders, but Ali Wollaston at about our 2, leading the series. So Teutenberg gets the bad news that she's eliminated. Now, watch her. Stenberg dives on the inside. A very good strategy there, because leading this one out, you're not going to get past that easily by the whole field. She's going to give it a desperate gasp, see if she can survive this. Scandinavia at the front. Stenberg of Norway. Didriksen of Denmark. Victoire Berthaud of France. And a touch of wheels here. Very, very unfortunate. One of our ladies goes down. Right, that is Great Britain being called out. And she literally crashed out there. Let's see if that call going to be rescinded. Madeleine Leach. Right, the bell goes for another lap again. They need to get a track off the bike off the inside of the track here. That is the decision. Let's just see what's happening. The race goes on in the meantime. That is Madeleine Leach that they've called. Well, unfortunately crashing out. Really bad news there for Madeleine Leach. She had the technical earlier and then crashed out in very unfortunate terms. This is the Dane out, one of the big contenders here. Amalie Didriksen, twice junior world champion and elite women's world road champion. That's of course road titles, multiple titles on the velodrome as well. Stenberg of Norway's been brilliant here. She's looked precarious all through, but to the opposite, to the contrary, she's now one of the principal contenders for a medal. Valente, the world champion, on the outside. Victoire Berthaud, Stenberg, The turn's going to come here for this rider from Portugal, rider 288, who's unfortunately got to leave us at this point. Brilliant ride from her in the fourth position. Right, let's focus on the race now. Stenberg, Berthaud, Valente, Stenberg from the Norwegian. Okay, Norway's Stenberg. Valente gets the call here. Stenberg. Now it's Valente versus Berthaud, but I think Berthaud is going to tear away from her. Let's look at Victoire Berthaud. It is Valente who's got no legs for her there. Berthaud powers around brilliantly as they're going to call out the Norwegian here. Stenberg succumbing to the pressure from Berthaud and from Valente. The world champion versus the French ace rider here. Victoire Berthaud rides on the Grand Tours as well. Brilliant bike rider. And Valente here of the US. The only way to do it, if in doubt, you want to lead out, which is exactly what Valente does. Berthaud on a wheel, enforced. After that big shove there from Valente. Berthaud very good on 2 laps to go. She got the legs to take the long road around, and indeed she has. Hats off here. Vive la France. A wonderful win there for Berthaud. Great ride from her as she relegates the world champion Valente into second in this women's elimination. A brilliant ride. 40 points will go to Berthaud, 38 to Valente, 36 to Stenberg, etc. And those points now get amassed. Those point tallies go into the final race, their points race, and they are added to by virtue of scoring points. Right, so the Omnium now, Valente has the lead, the world champion. Berthaud in second wheel in the Omnium. Amelie Didrikson, unfortunately relegated in third. And Ali Wollaston, the winner of this event, in the Jakarta leg, the opener at the end of February, has to settle for fourth at this time. Brilliantly well done, the woman here in the Omnium, leg 3, done and dusted. And that was absolutely brilliant. A wonderful ride from Berthaud. Valente in second wheel. And a great ride from all of these women on this occasion. Right, so let's have a look at the sprint now. This is the second run in the race for the bronze medal. Oh, bad crash there for Leach of Great Britain. Just touched wheels, Stenberg's back wheel, and went down and unfortunately crashed herself out of leg 3 of 4 of this women's Omnium. Right, the men's sprint, the race for the bronze medal. Kaya Ota on the left side of the track here from Japan has one leg in hand on riding of Poland. These riders, sprinters on the track, bulkily built. They do a lot of gym work. Explosive power is their business, and then they've got to work on speed as well. Matthias Rudek of Poland. The man going to deny him a chance here is the top rider, Kaya Ota of Japan. Lots of psychology. This goes over 3 laps. Little stare there. Rudek keeping an eye on his opponent. These riders deciding exactly which the right moment is for them of the 3 laps to launch their sprint at. When the rider reaches his optimal distance, he will go. And of course, some riders prefer leading out, others like coming off a wheel. The height of the banking, a great accelerative launch pad. The higher up the banking they go, the better the acceleration. One rider does not want to find himself on the lower end of the track when his opponent is right up the wall, because he will get out accelerated in the jump to launch the sprint. Rudek has the lead here over Ota. Rudek of Poland. He's rolling it up, he's winding it up, he's not letting this go to a walking pace. He's got 2 or 3 bikes advantage on Ota as they go down the back straight. Ota already one leg up here. If he can get this one, it's going to go his way. Ota kicks over the top there at the bell. 240 meters, 200 meters left now. They're in the back straight. Ota starts challenging. Rudek on the inside. He's going to get into the long way around, but it looks like Ota's got the legs to hold him off here. Brilliant Kaya Ota. He gets the medal there, the bronze medal at the Tissot UCI Nations Cup. Arms aloft, delighted with himself. Relative newcomer to the sport, and he has been brilliant in denying Rudek the bronze medal there. Poland settles for fourth, an unfortunate position. Punches the air, the Japanese rider, delighted with that performance. Kaya Ota, brilliant, outfoxed, outgunned, and I'm afraid outpaced the Pole in this final dash for the bronze medal. Right, now let's look at this decider in the men's sprint. We've got Harry Lefreysen of the Netherlands in our picture here, the ruling Olympic Games and World Championships champion. With him, young upstart from Russia, Mikhail Yakovlev, riding in the colors of Israel. Yakovlev, slightly less orthodox exponent of the sprint than is Harry Lefreysen, and it would be very interesting to see which tactics Yakovlev is going to bring to the war tonight. Crowd starting to wake up a little bit, sounding horns, hooters, all sorts of honkers. This man, probably the star of these Tissot UCI Nations Cup events. That's the big name that they all turn out to come and watch here. That's the upstart. He's the off-the-wall man. He's going to do it in an unorthodox manner. Has he got the legs and the guns to sort out the reigning world champion, Mikhail Yakovlev? Born in Russia, these days representing Israel. Commissaire, start official, giving the final instruction. Just over 3 laps to decide the gold medal. Yakovlev wins it. They go to 3. Another leg. If the man in the rainbow colors of the world champion Lefreysen does it, no need for a third run. He will be the Tissot UCI sprint winner of this Nations Cup series. Right, so there we go. Yakovlev going to see if he can outfox our friend from the Netherlands, the world champion, Olympic champion, Harry Lefreysen, the rider of the big years. He's known to ride years like 67, 13s at times, 62, 13 often. Tonight probably on a 60-14, I would guess from here. Looking at the conditions, not the fastest. Right, cat and mouse. Yakovlev, mean competitor. He's going to take it to the sword, put the man to the sword here. That's Lefreysen. Lefreysen challenges. Yakovlev on the inside. He's got the run of the banking as Lefreysen as he challenges him now. Coming down the back straight. A great move from Lefreysen. Just so skilled. Look at that. He absolutely tears away. Yakovlev knows he can't do it. That is wonderful. Absolutely amazing. What a ride from Harry Lefreysen. If we look back at that, he got the run off the wall here in the eastern banking. Used the wall to run down and accelerate in the back straight past Yakovlev. And there's just no chance for the man. Arms aloft, he deserves a wonderful round of applause. Wonderfully well done there. Harry Lefreysen of the Netherlands. He's the world champion, he's the Olympic champion. That's how it's done. Great to see that rainbow jersey denoting the world champion. Make no mistake in his expert discipline and just deliver the goods. Really, really well done. Now look at this. If we look at the replay of this event, the deciding moment, Yakovlev had the lead. He was playing cat and mouse with Lefreysen. And Lefreysen used the wall to run off it. If we can just run back and find that picture, it would be really interesting. This was the moment. If you look at them here, no, that's the finale, but the run into the finale was the critical moment of where Lefreysen outfoxed and outran Mikhail Yakovlev of Israel, Kaya Ota of Japan getting third, and the other riders on the series here. So now looking at the men's Keirin, the men's sprint final classification, that was it there. The women's Keirin up next. Great Keirin exponent as well as Lefreysen. Very exciting sprint series that was. Right, so this is the Keirin, the 7 to 12 final. So you've got Rio Ota, you've got Julie Michaud of France, you've got Beletska of the Ukraine, you've got Steffi van der Peert of the Netherlands in there, Lise Andrews, uncharacteristically not in the final here, and Miriam Vece of Italy right on top of the track. Vece, an expert over 500 meters. Right, Ria Ota on the inside. Then you've got the French rider Julie Michaud. From the Ukraine, Beletska, Van der Peert of the Netherlands in the orange, as she should be. Lise Andrews in the black of New Zealand, and then Vece of Italy, rider right at the top. Motorbike comes around, it's going to lead them for 3 laps. Then they're left to their own devices for the final 3. Right, 30 kilometers an hour, that's the dictated speed of the pace bike for the first 3 laps. The motorcycle then pulls off after 3, leaving them to race 3 on their own. Mandatory for the first rider to hold the wheel of the motorcycle, to be on its rear wheel for the first 3 laps. Ota, Michaud, Beletska, Van der Peert, Andrews and Vece. That's how they go down the back straight. No tempo yet, building up gradually to the 50 kilometer an hour mark. Now the women's Keirin rendering their 4.5 lap point when they come around now. The motorcycle goes off at 3, leaving Ota to take the pace. Michaud on her wheel. Now it becomes strategic, tactical. How are they going to run this one? This race for 7th through 12th. The next run is the final, which decides 1st to 6th. Ota, Michaud, Beletska, Van der Peert, Andrews, and Vece of Italy. No change in the rankings now. It's Van der Peert. Kicks over the top there. She's trying to get the lead, and she's got it, in fact. Andrews kicks over her. 2 laps to go. Vece from Italy in the second wheel. In this race for the 7th through 12th position, the bell goes. Andrews, Vece, Van der Peert, Ota. That's how they come around here. Down the back straight, Andrews. Has Vece got the explosive speed to overtake her? Vece now starts the challenge. Van der Peert comes up. Ota going to go for it as well here. 7th will go to Andrews. 8th will be Vece, etc. Van der Peert will settle for 9th. A very, very good race there. But Andrews avenging the fact that she's not in the final here should certainly have made the final by her usual standard. And she shows us that she really is worthy of a spot in the final, which this time she didn't secure. She gets the 7th position. Vece gets 8th. Van der Peert gets 9th. Ota gets 10th, Michaud in 11th, and Beletska in the 12th position. So there we go. That is the order of events here. Andrews settling for 7th. Very well run Keirin. Beautiful strategy there. Vece looked dangerous, just couldn't accelerate. She's not the most accelerative rider, although she is the Italian and world 500 meter time trial champion. Correction, not the world, she's the European. This lady on the track from France is the world 500 meter time trial champion. And that is Kouame. Hails from the Côte d'Ivoire. Rides for France these days. This is the final run for the gold medal, bronze medal and silver, as well as places 4, 5 and 6 in this women's Keirin. Magnificent velodrome. If you look to the left top behind the scoreboard, these historic buildings of Cairo, evident here because this velodrome is unwalled. Right, there we go. Japanese rider is Ume Kawa. At the top of the track, it is the Dutch rider, and that is a Van der Wolf, Farabo Heti, Mina Sato from Japan. Then you've got the world 500 meter champion, right, the Belgian there is the Grendele Nikki, and on the inside, Propstar from Germany. The riders will be held up by their seconds now. The motorcycle comes around on the inside. When he comes around, we have 6 laps to go. Propster, Umkawaya, De Grendler, Kouame, Sato, and Van der Vo. That's how they go around on this opening lap. Van der Vo of Netherlands, still the 6th wheel, mandatory for the opener. They can start jockeying once the motorcycle leaves them. We saw in the run 7 to 12, no jockeying really. They kept a straight line and shot it out in a sprint finish. Right, here we go. Tempo gradually being built up by one of the riders of the Egyptian Cycling Federation, who rides the motorcycle. Propster, Lumekawa, De Grendler, Kouame, Sato, and Van der Vo. That's how they come by here. Motorcycle's going to say goodbye to them at the end of this lap. Kouame starting to look around. She's left a bit of a gap between herself and the other. She's very concerned about the German, Propster, and the Dutch rider, which is Van der Vo. Let's have a look here. What happens now? The motorcycle goes, and instantly it is the German Propster. Takes the lead, Umakawa. Then it is the Dutch rider who starts her challenge early on here. That is Van der Vo. Van der Vo, Propster, Umakawa. That's how they go around. 2 laps to go. They'll get the bell when they come around the next time. Kouame of France starts challenging as well. Right, a big shuffle there for the money. Let's see what happens. It looks like the final sprint, but it's only the bell as they come around. Kouame. Over the top there is the Japanese rider. And a brilliant ride from the Umakawa. There's been a crash at the back as well. And coming around now to sort it out. One of the Japanese here to the wire. She wins it in great style. Let's just have a look. We looked at the crash, unfortunately, but that is the Japanese rider there. Sato gets it. She did this at Jakarta as well. De Grendler gets second. Propster third. And a bad crash in the back straight there of 2 of our riders. Umakawa surviving it. And that is Umakawa and Van der Vo. Hetty Van der Vo of the Netherlands going down, unfortunately, there. We hope the riders are okay. Fuko Umakawa, Hetty Van der Vo. Just hope the 2 riders are okay. Van der Vo still down. Umakaya also getting medical attention. That's one of the dangers here of this Keirin racing. Watch what happens here. They touch wheels and down they go. Oh. Very bad crash there. We hope that they're okay. Of course, on the board tracks like this, the way she's holding, that is Van der Vo holding a shoulder. That could be a collarbone, unfortunately. One of the most occurring injuries in the world of cycling, collarbone, and then the scaphoid fracture of the wrist. But that does look like a collarbone there for the unfortunate Dutch rider. Well, a brilliant Keirin that was. Wonderfully ridden. Unfortunately, we had the crash. Mina Sato, as she did in Jakarta, Nicky de Grendler getting second, and Propster of Germany in third. So the medals decided there in the Keirin. Sato gets the gold. De Grendler will settle for silver. Alessa Catriona Propster the bronze medal. Kouame, Umakawa, Van der Vo, Andrews, Veche, Van der Peert, and Ota, the top 10 in tonight's leg. This one, the Tissot UCI Nations Cup of Cairo, the second leg of 3 of the 2023 series. Right, so what an exhilarating evening's racing that has been. We have one big event left, the women's points race to conclude their Omnium. We're ready with the protocol ceremony as well. We're going to do the Keirin, the sprints, and the Omnium still to come. The Madison as well will get their award ceremony now. It's been a fantastic evening of racing. We are ready with the protocol ceremony. We'll join them down there and come back to you in just a moment.
and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the Tissot UCI Track Nations Cup in Cairo, Egypt. The award ceremony of the men's Madison race. The souvenir prize will be awarded by Mr. Ayman Ali, the member of the Egyptian Cycling Federation. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, Team Netherlands, William Valanci and Vincent Hopital.
Well, a brilliant ride there from the Germans. Roger Kluge and Theo Reinhardt making no mistake of that spectacular victory on this occasion. Jan van Skip, the tall man, and his teammate Vincent Hopital. Great ride from him as well. The Kiwis in third. And that's George Jackson and Thomas Sexton. Sexton just getting off the podium there, the man in the short sleeve skin suit. Well done, that Madison. Absolutely exhilarating, frenetic as the streets of Cairo here are. But 20 million people get by in this wonderful city, and they live in amazing harmony. Peaceful, very safe city, and enormous. 20 million people, the biggest on the continent of Africa. The velodrome spectacular. If you look to your left below the Tissot scoreboard, that's one of the historic buildings, and it's a whole sports complex like an Olympic village that we are built in here in this velodrome. The walls deliberately not closed or enclosed to keep the vista of all of these historic buildings within sight of the velodrome. Velodrome, as we said, was started the project in 1991 and eventually was completed just in 2020. And of course, to fit into this whole village, it took some time to do it, but brilliant venue and unusual, right in the heart of a city, a pulsating city like Cairo. The velodrome itself, 250 meters, which is the standard length of the Olympic distance. 42-degree inclination in the corners, the bankings. 12-degree the straights are, and the track is about 7 meters wide. 14 medals on offer at this Tissot UCI Track Nations Cup in Cairo, and we are just about done. It's been a magnificent 3.5 days of racing. The opening day on Tuesday saw the riders qualify and get through all the team pursuits. Then we had spectacular 2 days of racing, and of course tonight. It all ends in Cairo here. The next leg takes the riders through to Canada, to Milton, where they'll be competing in the next 3 weeks to conclude this Tissot UCI Nations Cup of 2023. Nations Cup implemented to allow the riders to gain very valuable points for qualification in the Olympic Games and the World Championships. This event amazingly supported by 50 nations and 8 trade teams, international teams. In the region of 500 riders are coming out here to do battle. So wonderful, wonderful, and an absolute array, a huge selection of national champions, many, Commonwealth champions, world champions, Olympic champions, national champions. They've all come here to support this, and we've seen a rider like Harry Lefrayson, just absolutely magnificent. One of the big stars in the world of cycling. Is a 6-time champion, whole bag full of gold medals, and one of the true heroes of the world of cycling. And Lefrayson, a humble gentleman, by no means he doesn't have confidence, but he has a great approachability, and his rivals speak very kindly of him. They just say that he's a great guy, and it's wonderful when you're a big star like that who's won the Olympic Games sprint and the team sprint in your career back in 2021. The World Championships in the sprint, he's won that 4 times. He has won the team sprint 4 times, the Keirin 3 times, and the European Championship. He's got about 10 or so gold medals from that as well. It just doesn't get better than that, and wonderful to see an approachable superstar like Harry Lefrayson. Rides for the Netherlands. They are certainly one of the dominant nations, if not the dominant nation in the world of sprinting at the moment. Their women contrarily dominate the world of road racing at professional level. We've come up now to the final event of the program here. This the women's Omnium. The riders are left in the race now. They have completed 3 of their legs. They started off with a scratch race. They then went on to a tempo event, which is a lap every point decision. They went on to an elimination, and their finale here is the points event. Format of the race: they get 40 points for winning one of the disciplines, 38 for second, 36 for third, etc. Those points are aggregated at the end of the elimination race, and at the start of this race they are then opened up as the basis onto which these riders add points, accumulate points for their overall aggregate. So that's Didrikson, Amelie Didrikson. The format of the race: 80 laps or 20 kilometers, and there's a sprint every 10 laps, so there'll effectively be 8 sprints in this event. 5, 3, 2, 1 points up for grabs. The last lap carries double points. And Germany's entry there: Lynn Teutenberg, and the world champion Jennifer Valente of the Omnium. Wonderful bike rider. She was incredible the other night in the women's elimination, which there's a standalone elimination as well as part of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup events. The Dutch rider in picture is Maaike van der Duin. Portugal, Maria Martins. From Ireland, pick her up there, that is Mia Griffin. So they're all ready. They line up in 2 lines, one on the inside, one on the top of the track. That to shorten the line, or the potential line of riders, which would be 20 riders long. This is the grand finale. This brings the curtain to the end of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup. We have 20 kilometers of racing after 3 1/4 spectacular days of cycling. Well, they'll get the gun from the starter now when they come around. It's neutral. And this decided on a points basis. 5, 3, 2 and 1 points every 10 laps. On the last lap, double points. The points are added to the points already accumulated in the 3 races by these riders, the scratch, the tempo event and the elimination. That's the points. Valente of the US has the lead over Berthaud and Diedrich. And certainly Ali Wollaston, who was the winner of the Jakarta leg of this Omnium, finds herself in 4th. But gaining a lap here is a 20-point bonus. 5 points for each of the laps, 3 for each of the laps in 2nd, 2 for the laps in 3rd, and 1 for every lap in 4th. They sprint every 10 laps. This is going to be a very, very interesting race. They are closely positioned at the top. You've got 4 riders in there. And then the top 10 by gaining a lap could all be a big factor. 20 points bonus onto the 7th placed Portuguese rider there, could easily sling her to the top. That's Maria Martins. So Ireland immediately into a little bit of a flutter at the front. That's how tough these riders are. Brit having a bad crash, Madeleine Leach, and back after being patched up by the medical crew here to take part in this 4th and final leg of the women's Omnium, the last race of this, the 2023 Tissot UCI Nations Cup in Cairo. Teutenberg of Germany, little brief stint at the front. Mexican rider Valesco having a little go as well. Always great to have the ruling world champion in the race, and little heed was paid to her there, as there's an immediate attack from the field here. That looks like the entrant from Greece. Let's jump to the front there. Right, and that's Milaki. Well, Greece having a desperate flutter at the front. 2 laps to the sprint. She might be after points here. The Austrian rider next best at the moment. That is Eberhardt. Verena Eberhardt of Austria in 2nd wheel. The big guns are starting to challenge now. The red top tires, they belong to the Dutch. Let's see what they can do here. Van der Deen of Holland leads them out. Oh, there comes the challenge now over the top. And that is Stenberg of Norway as she challenges. Van der Deen, Valente, the world champion, and Stenberg. Those are the 3 fighting for the first points here. Van der Deen gets them. Stenberg settles for 3. Teutenberg moves up 43 points. And more points here for the world champion. 112 now. Valente, that's Jennifer Valente in that rainbow jersey of the world champion. Right, Wollaston, she's got to do something. She won this leg in Jakarta. Now or never, she's got a challenge. Berthaud of France leads Griffin of Ireland. Whoa, close stuff. As Wollaston now comes in, Berthaud and Griffin of Ireland. Putting some daylight into him. Leach of Britain tries to counter, but this trio is going to go away here. Berthaud, Wollaston, Griffin. That's how they go. 6 laps to another sprint here. These 3 riders trying to lap the field. They'll gain 20 points each, which would be very, very dangerous for Valente, the leader, and the others. Wollaston, she's putting the hammer down very, very early. 65 laps to still go, and she's going to try and gain a lap. Once you've committed with Berthaud like that, you've got to do it. Griffin goes along, and she's not going just for the ride. She's helping this duo. Berthaud, Griffin, Wollaston. New Zealand, Ireland, and of course France. So Griffin goes down the back straight, leads them. Response coming past the main straight here, and that will be Valente herself who's left to do a bit of chasing. Didrik goes up with her, won't give her any assistance off camera, but Berthaud, Wollaston and Griffin. Look at Wollaston's power when she takes over the lead. Takes the pace there. Immediately a 2-bike gap. Wollaston goes up, Berthaud takes over. Griffin of Ireland finds herself now in the hot seat here in this points race. A very brave performance from her. She's gone away with big guns. This trio is going to lap the field and they're going to get a 20-point advantage. This is brilliant. Well done to Berthaud. Well done to Valente. Well done to Griffin of Ireland. Look at this. Watch what happens to their points on the screen. Another sprint lap here. Unfortunately for them because the tempo will go up. An immediate response at the front there. But the three leaders have lapped. That's on the track, of course. That will be a big blow here for Valente, as Wollaston will get her advantage. They should have the points up now. Well, they're still at the back. Berthaud now has the lead. 126 points over Wollaston in second. Valente in third and Didrik in fourth. That's remarkable. Valente has lost this lead. She slipped down the board, the world champion. That's the nature of this beast. Ikata getting 5 from the sprint, Leclerc the 3, Jali 2, and Seitz of Switzerland the 1 point in that sprint. But the action, the eyes here were on the lapping trio. So now, Berthaud, Wollaston, Valente in third, Didrik in fourth. Valente's crept back into the ranks. Valente has got to do something. She wants to win this. She's in that World Championship jersey. The final gold medal of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup of 2023. Switzerland. That's the way to do it. They've got to attack. There can be no defending now. That is Aileen Seitz of Switzerland. Has a stab off the front. South Africa's Jonker goes with her. The Austrian rider in contention as well. Just keeping an eye is Eberhardt. Wollaston, Berthaud, Czechia, that is Sevichkova. Sevichkova of Czechia. Now Spain leads them down, that's Labrarte. Labrarte of Spain, a bit of hesitation here. Nothing for these riders to sit back on, as Jonker gets a stab off the front there. Well done to her. That is Keirin Jonker. But neutralized and pulled back. Swiss rider now, Aileen Seitz, leads them. That's Joseph of Barbados, who just swings up the track in the yellow colors. Teutenberg. Right, watch the Austrian here. She's planning a little move. Just got to the front. She wasn't going to attack them, but has improved her position. Eberhardt. 2 laps to go to the sprint. She's after points. Teutenberg on the inside leads. Wollaston on the outside in that New Zealand skin suit. Then you've got Van der Duyn of the Netherlands in the orange. Here you've got Leach. She's had a crash earlier in the race and she's back. And you just look at that resolve to come back after a crash and to still be competitive. Stenberg of Norway kicks over the top. Wollaston from New Zealand's belligerent. Yeah, she's flying around the top. She's going to hold off Stenberg. Just look at that ease at which she wins this lap. Brilliant ride from her there. Times it to perfection. And her peers will tell you that she is indeed a hugely rising star. Ali Wollaston of New Zealand comes from Auckland, on her way to the very, very top rungs in the world of cycling, as she's riding here with the Tour de France women's rider Berthaud, of course, Victoire Berthaud. Very seasoned, as hard as nails is Berthaud. She likes it hard. And yeah, Czechia as well. The Swiss now having a go. Seitz at the front. Lararte of Spain. The Chechen, Sechivikova. Chechia. Portugal with them as well. And that's Maria Martins. Leach comes by. Still the Swiss, aggressive. Aileen Seitz, not too sure what she's doing. There's 7 laps to go to the sprint here. She's not planning an attack by any chance, keeping the tempo nice and high. Berthaud is our leader. If you look at the board, Wollaston in second. She's come right up the ranks. Valente in third, the world champion. Diedrich from Denmark in fourth. And Van der Duyn from the Netherlands in the fifth wheel. Stenberg of Norway, fantastic ride from her as well. Right, down the back they go. Still 45 laps to go, about 10 kilometers. 11 and a touch. Chechia Sevchikova. Mexico comes to the front as well, and that is Valesco. Joseph of Barbados in the yellow. Griffin of Ireland in green. Blue shorts at the bottom. That is Leach after an earlier crash. This is Austria. Having a good go. There's Eberhard of Austria. She's desperate to try and get a lap on them. She finds herself low down in the positions here, but a lap will stand her in great stead if she can gain it. 13 points only, lowly placed, but it's never too late. Right, rider from Greece, we saw earlier, that's Milaki. Not giving up by any stretch of the book, still competitive and fighting the big guns here. This is a sprint lap. Let's see what Milakis can do. Right, they go for the points here now. Van der Duyn of the Netherlands. Van der Duyn of the Netherlands. Has she got 5 points? Yes, she has. Stenberg gets 3. Portuguese rider 2. And Eberhard of Austria gets that point. We've been watching her as she makes her way up the ladder. Let's hope she gets a couple more sprints in the bag. 39 laps, under 10 kilometers now left of the 2023 Tissot UCI Nations Cup in Cairo. The Portuguese rider Maria Martins. Chechia Sevchikova always in the mix as well. The Mexican Valesco in the green shorts, white top, striking colors. Berthaud has the lead now from Wollaston. Valente in third. Diedrich in fourth. And Van der Duyn of the Netherlands in fifth wheel. Wollaston going through. She knows exactly what she's up to here. She's in second wheel, 2 points adrift of the French rider Berthaud. Victoire Berthaud. Right, the Portuguese rider Martins. Joseph in the yellow skin suit of Barbados. Mia Griffin of Ireland still in there, competitive as well. Keirin de Klerk of Belgium. Right, the Swiss. She's been fighting it the whole way. Aileen Seitz. Let's see what Mia Griffin's up to. That's Jonker. She's going to get lapped here. Go a lap down. Right, Portugal, Martins. Griffin, really looking good from Ireland, or for Ireland here. 3 laps to go to the next sprint. They've got 3 sprints to go as well, so it's all in threes. This is the 4th leg to change that rhyme of ours, the final and 4th one of the women's Omnium. They've had their scratch, they've had their tempo, they've had the elimination, and now the points race to decide the final gold medal of this 2023 Tissot UCI Nations Cup event in this historic city of Cairo. Joseph. leads them across the line. From Mexico's Valesco, Teutenberg of Germany, Leach of Great Britain, Sevchikova of Czechia, Leach. 2 laps to go. These women in the hunt for the points now. They've positioned themselves there. Joseph Kicks, Stenberg of Norway, Griffin of Ireland in the green. The Irish women riding fantastically after their 4th place in the team pursuit. But look at Wollaston as she kicks over the top here. Powering away to the points now. Absolutely hurtling along. Wollaston's been brilliant as she sews up these points. Stenberg will get 2nd, Griffin 3rd. Joseph maybe the 4th. Or Stechikova of Czechia. Well, let's look at the points award now. Indeed, Wollaston, Stenberg, Sevchikova, and a final point going. But Wollaston now grabs the lead from Berthaud at the right moment. There are 2 sprints to go. Last one carries double points, but Wollaston at the right moment. She's not waiting for them now. She's kicking away. Ali Wollaston 5 points. Stenberg in 2nd there, Griffin 3rd, and Sevchikova gets the final 1-pointer on that 30-lap sprint. They'll go at 20, they'll go at 10, and they'll go for the finish. 3 sprints left to be precise. Right, let's see the points now. Wollaston, bit of a move. Belgium chasing here. Right, Spaniard chasing. Mexico as well. Martin from Portugal as they overhaul the attacker. Keirin Leclerc of Belgium. She's been prominent as well. Not the highest position. She's in 13th in this points race. Points got aggregated onto the aggregate before the points race to come up with an overall score for the end result. Valesco of Mexico. Right. Maho Kakita of Japan in the black colors. Not in a team skin suit, in a trade team's rather all black. Well, the Swiss girl looking good here. Aileen Seitz. Leclerc of Belgium swings up the track. Martins of Portugal. Valesco of Mexico now stretches her legs. Berthaud on a wheel. That is the Japanese rider there. Maho Kakita up the track. Valesco of Mexico out the saddle. Berthaud goes with her. Van der Deen goes with her. Wollaston on their wheel. This is the 20-lap sprint. Mexico, Valesco. Right, Berthaud dangerously poised. Van der Deen, Wollaston in the black skin suit of New Zealand. Has she got that vitesse that she had in the previous sprint? Not at all. She's going to settle here for no points. Berthaud gets 2. Shrunk the gap a little bit on her. That's a vital sprint. Now only 1 point difference between Wollaston of New Zealand and Frances Berthaud. Valente, the world champion, finds herself in 3rd. She's got a little bit quiet of recent. Maybe she's going for the last lap double points. Berthaud now on the wheel of Dedrickson as they go down the back straight. Van der Deen with them. Keirin Leclerc of Belgium. In the Blauwe Garde, that famous Belgian jersey, the pale blue with the Belgian flag around. It's been the same for all the years that Belgians had World Championship representation. That's been the national color, come Belgium or come Brussels. Fantastic effort here. From the Austria now has a go. Now the hammer's starting to go down dramatically. Eberhard of Austria puts the chopper down. Teutenberg of Germany. Czechia as well. Right. The Austrian's been caught. 3 fresh leaders at the front. Teutenberg having a leg stretch. Sevchikova of Czechia. Third rider with him. That's the Chinese rider. And also the Chinese have been quiet here. Jiali Lui. But now in the maybe race changing breakaway. Lui not lots of points here. She's on 39 points at the moment. And she surrenders. Sevkikova and Teutenberg sit up as well. Now, Martins of Portugal, Griffin of Ireland, Stenberg of Norway. Very deceptive style is Stenberg. She always looks like she's under pressure or doesn't show any effort. Looks like she might let go and the next thing she wins the race. Really, really deceptive style. Now, Spain, Lararte. That is your Japanese rider. Kakita of Japan in the black with the red helmet. Sevchikova of Czechia. Teutenberg on her wheel as they go down the back straight. Griffin. Now the race leader, Ali Wollaston. Only 1 point ahead of Berthaud of France. They're coming up now to the penultimate sprint. This is the last of the point sprints before the final one. And the Swiss rider there, Seitz, is out the saddle in hunt of 5 points. She's just up to speed. Louis of China on her right shoulder. Joseph of Barbados over the top. Now, the Dutch looking for points here. Van der Duyne. The bell goes. Let's see if Van der Duyne can maintain that. Wollaston in the black for New Zealand kicks over the top. Leach of Great Britain stuck in the middle of them. Louis on the inside here. Van der Duyne in the orange. Berthaud of France kicks over the top. Can Berthaud challenge Wollaston? This is going to make all the difference here. They're a point apart. Now they are another 2 points apart. So that'll be a 3-point difference now between Wollaston and Berthaud because she got no points in that lap. The Dutch rider Van der Duyne getting the second. Now heading up to the final sprint, and the final sprint of this UCI Nations Cup, sponsored by Tissot. Wollaston gets 5, Berthaud 2, Van der Duyne 3. A 4-point margin now between Wollaston and Berthaud with the last lap to go. Double points on offer here. Let's see what happens. Wollaston in the black, Berthaud in the French colours. Maike van der Duyne got the middle one there. She got the 3-pointer. Laps counting down, 8 laps to go of this magnificent Tissot UCI Nations Cup tournament held in this historic city of Cairo. Down the back straight, Valesco goes. Now the rider from Greece has a stab at the front. She's going to go and see if she can clinch points here. Martins of Portugal counters. 7 laps to go. It's a long way out. What will the leaders do? Wollaston can't let Bertha out of her sight for a minute. Sevchikova of Czechia goes down the back. Keirin Leclerc of Belgium in the hunt as well here. Right, that's right at 269. That's the Greek entrant here. She's waited her turn. Milaki of Greece has the lead. Has she got the legs? Has she got the guns to hold them off? She's got some tempo at the moment. Griffin of Ireland hesitates at the front. The Austrian rider counters. And that there is Eberhard, Verena Eberhard of Austria. Hesitation in the bunch. They're not too worried about the Greek rider. She'll neutralize points, will suit Wollaston if the Greek can win this lap. Right, there's hesitation. Valenta, the world champion. That's the Japanese entrant as well. Kakita in the black skin suit on the top. They're going to let the Greek rider, Milako, win this lap. There's no question. It looks like they're not going to get to her. Still 4 laps to go. She's not a factor in the race here. No danger to the others other than neutralizing points for the French rider or Didrikson if they want to get some points here. Milaki's in the points, in the lead over the peloton, but an insignificant lead that is. She might get the final points in the tournament here, but not enough to propel her onto the podium or anywhere in the big prizes. Now Didrikson leads the lethargic bunch around here. 3 laps to go. Didrikson, Teutenberg, Valeska, Berthaud of France, Wollaston on her right shoulder. The 2 leaders, top and tails here next to each other. Van der Duyne of Holland in that orange skin suit comes over the top. Berthaud on the inside, Didrikson on her inside. Wollaston in the black skin suit of New Zealand. They've got 2 laps to go. They're going to pick up Milakis by the looks of it here. It will be touch and go, but Berthaud now puts the hammer down in the last run for the line. She's going to try and lead it down. Didrikson on her wheel. Sevchikova. Wollaston in the black for New Zealand has to kick right over the top here. She's in 4th. Now she's in 4th position. She gets into 3rd. Berthaud loses momentum. Wollaston. Can Berthaud come through the inside? Didrikson's going to win the lap. Sevchikova gets it. Wollaston secures the win there. a brilliant ride. Wollaston gets 4 points. That'll keep it atop the board. Berthaud hangs on to the silver medal there. Got tired near the end. Didrikson with that fantastic last lapper ends up in the bronze medal. Valenta, the world champion and Olympic champion, sadly off the podium on this occasion. What a fantastic event this has been. A brilliant women's Omnium. In the end, a brilliant ride there from Ali Wollaston of New Zealand. She did this to them in Jakarta. She does it again to them in this event. A fantabulous performance there. Stupendous it was. A brilliant ride from Ali Wollaston to secure this women's Omnium, the final medal of this UCI Tissot sponsored Nations Cup in the magnificent city of Cairo. Of course, Wollaston, a seasoned road rider as well, popped onto importance here, National Road Championship of New Zealand that she won in 2018, the National Junior Champs again in 2019, the Under 23 Women's Road Race Champs the year later in 2020, and lots of good results in the World Circuit on the road. The Schwalbe Classic she won in 2023 this year as well. On the track in 2019, Team Pursuit's gold medal at the Track Cycling World Cup in Hong Kong. And just an action-packed, a fantastic curriculum vitae that she has. And the pundits tell you to keep an eye on her. She's still a young rider and rapidly on her way up the ladder now. Rides for AG Insurance, so dull, quick step. So great to have her riding here in Cairo, and what a consummate performance from her there. Truly great ride from Ali Wollaston of New Zealand. It's been a magnificent 3 1/4 days worth of racing in this fabulously historic city of Cairo. The final gold medal going to the New Zealander Ali Wollaston, beating Victoire Berthaud into the silver. And take a look at those statuettes, they're absolutely beautiful. Made especially for the Tissot UCI Nations World Cup event here. And what else could it be than a magnificent Egyptian statuette for the medalists' atlas. Second of 3 Tissot UCI World Cup events, Nations Cup events, correction. This one in Cairo, the first with Jakarta, now Milton in Canada, awaits this circuit of the world's foremost track riders. And already Tissot's been magnificent here in timing this to 3 fractions of a second. Fantastically adjudicated by the UCI Commissaires panel. Mr. Menzies, the head commissaire. Magnificently put together by the Egyptian Cycling Federation on behalf of the Union Cycliste International. And kudos go to the events director Alec Lenferner. South African, lives in KwaZulu-Natal on the east coast of South Africa. The man who's presented more world championships than any other event organizer or event promoter. Event director would be the formal title, but well done to him. He's directed this through difficult circumstances in this magnificent hub of the continent of Africa, Egypt, with its 20 million population. All the history goes back here. 969 BC is when the city of Cairo was in fact founded, and the 20 million frenetic inhabitants here certainly have been entertained to 20 million seconds of freneticism on 2 wheels by this fabulous gathering of world foremost leaders in the world of cycling. 50 nations gathered here, 8 international trade teams, and 500 odd riders coming to regale us with the very best performances the world of cycling can anticipate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the Tissot UCI Track Nations Cup in Cairo, Egypt. The award ceremony of the men's sprint race. The medals will be presented by Mr. Shabdali, a member of the Egyptian Cycling Federation. In 3rd place and the winner of the bronze medal, Japan, Kaya. The Sophia Prize will be awarded by Mr. Mustafa Adam, the advisor of the Egyptian Cycling Federation. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, Israel, Mikhail Yakovlev. In first place and the winner of the gold medal for the men's sprint race, Netherlands, Madison.
Well, they've come to see this man, Harry Lefrayson, hasn't disappointed. Brilliant gold medal in the team sprint for the Netherlands, and now gets his second gold medal with this wonderful performance in the men's sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, and a round of applause for the winners.
Well, there the sprinters go. Truly great performance. Kaya Ota, the young Japanese rising star. Harry Lefrayson, the top dog, ranked one, Olympic champion and world champion of this discipline. And Yakovlev of Israel, probably the biggest man on the velodrome. An absolute giant in cycling terms. And worthy of the celebration is 2023 Tissot UCI Nations Cup. This series here magnificently staged by the Egyptian Cycling Federation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup in Cairo, Egypt. The award ceremony for the women's skiing race. The medals will be presented by Dr. the President of the Egyptian and African Federation and the Vice President of UCI. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, Germany, Alisa Catriona Professor. The Souvenir Prize will be awarded by Mr. Khaled Mustafa, the manager of the Egyptian Cycling Federation. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, Belgium, Nikki Digital. In first place and the winner of the gold medal at the women's skiing race, Sato Mina from Rakuten Gateway, Japan.
Well, there they go. Mina Sato of Japan, Nikki de Grendel of Belgium, and Alessa Catriona Propster of Germany. The winners of the 3 UCI medals in this enthralling women's Keirin final. Proud moment for Japan. The race emanates from their country, hugely supported by the public, and the riders treated as gods in their native land. Interestingly so, the riders from the Far East have dominated the Keirin events in both the men's and the women's at this Tissot UCI Nations Cup event series. Sato, very proud of that gold medal, a wonderful effort there, and those statuettes are just the best in a right hand. They are magnificent, so appropriate and so thoughtful. This will be the final protocol ceremony of this tournament.
The medal ceremony of the Tissot UCI Nations Cup in Cairo, Egypt. The award ceremony for the women's Omnium race. The medals will be presented by Dr. the President of the Egyptian and African Cycling Federation and Vice President of EGY. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, Denmark, Emily Didriksen. The Omnium prize will be awarded by Mr. Ayman Ali, the member of the Egyptian Cycling Federation. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, France, Victoire Berthaud. In first place and the winner of the gold medal and the winner of the women's Omnium race, New Zealand, Ali Walter.
Well, really well done to Ali Wollaston, Victoire Berthaud and Amelie Didriksen on that formidable performance in the women's Omnium. Really well done to the Egyptian Cycling Federation. The man on your right there, the president for many, many years, Dr. Azam, the vice president as well of the world cycling body, the UCI. Magnificently well done to Alec Lenferner, the event director, the entire team of organizers here. Well done to the city of Cairo. Well done to all 500 competitors coming from 50 nations and 8 international teams, turning this race for the 14 gold medals into a magnificent spectacle which befits this wonderfully historic city of Cairo. It's been superb with you joining us, We've loved bringing you the coverage, the event, the race, all the drama, the guts and the glory, the 14 gold medals from this wonderfully historic city of Cairo and the capital of cycling in the country of Egypt. It's Johnny Kun and the rest of the team covering the event, saying good night, and we hope to be with you soon.